What I am saying on Abumanyamini, our people are lame. They are weak. I am struggling to count how many men there are in Biafra land. There are no more men left. Weak, docile, and imbecilic. Weak. I don't know how we can take such people to war. I don't know how we can take men who are not men into battle and win. I am ashamed. Very, very ashamed. Nonetheless, we must preach this very gospel because man did not ask us to come. Chukwu Abiyama in heaven mandated that we should come. If not, that I was called to do this very work, I will not speak to any of you anymore. But Chukwu Abiyama said this very gospel must be preached, and we must preach it. I have prayed since yesterday up until now. My request is very simple. The same prayer I made in secret, I will make out here in the open. Chukwu Abiyama biko. Since it is your intention that your kingdom will be restored upon this very earth, I need men. I need men. I did not say boys. I said I need men. Those of them that you created to restore your kingdom, they should come forward now, not tomorrow, not next year. Chukwu Abiyama. You must bring them now. I did not say tomorrow. Because the insult is too much. It is beyond what any human being can endure. We want to go and get Biafra, or we die in the process, because we are better off dead than witness some of this nonsense going on. The level of insult is beyond what any decent human being can tolerate. They bring their cattle into our land. They desecrate our land. They kill us in the presence of our families and nobody does anything about it. And when the police attend, the police sit idly by as people are being killed by not a multitude of people. Only 4. Only 4 Awasa people can sack an entire village in Biafra land, and we call ourselves men. No, we are not men. Until we redeem our honor. Until we look at integrity and say, we must have a part of it. Until then, to be honest with you. This is Radio Biafra. Now is the time to come forward. I did not say tomorrow. Now, tonight, is the time to come forward. 100 of us, and then we march. 100 and we march. The rest can come later if they want to. I am tired of broadcasting. I want to fight for my country. I want to carry arms to defend the honor and integrity of my country. I want to avenge the death of 6 million people. I want Biafra to stand as a beacon of hope, freedom, and liberty in black world. I want Biafra to stand as a testament to the glory of heaven upon the face of this very earth. I want Biafra to stand because my obligation to the dead outweigh that which I owe to the living. That is why Biafra will stand, and Biafra will come. 100 men, that's all. And we march. The rest can come later on. I no longer give a damn. The disgrace and the insult is too much. We must go and meet our enemies even if we have only machete and hoes. It is far more better for us to go and meet them and die with a semblance of dignity than with this very humiliation which we encounter every blessed day. We must assemble as quickly as possible.
Hello, fellow Biafrans, lovers of freedom, lovers of truth. Good to have you live today, Saturday, the last day of the week. It's a weekend, and I want to appreciate you all who are joining. And of course, I want to say thank you to you. First of all, I want to appreciate Chuku Okike, who has given us the opportunity to have another weekend. And today is the 18th day of March 2023. And today is a lovely day that the Lord has made, that we should all be alive today to see how far God will take us. I want to appreciate you all for joining. I want to thank you all. I want to thank you, Maconx. I always call that Max, Maconx, or Macon X. I think it should be Macon X, but because it's together, so we say Maconx. Thank you so much for your message. I just saw it now. I just once I saw your message here, I just went to the phone and saw that there's a message. I want to thank you, Edith Nedu, one of those who have refused to, who don't want to, who want to stand on the side of the truth, and who want to believe in the truth, and who want to reason constructively. I of course, I know. I appreciate you, Edith Nedu. Good to have you. Good afternoon to you. And we have lots of people who have been insulting me and all of that, and saying lots of things about me, especially on Twitter, and I just laugh. Sometimes you just have to understand the makeup of our people. And I don't get angry because I don't respond to anyone, because I understand that our people have been damaged over time based on the fact that they have been in a corrupt system for a long time. And so it is strange to see something new coming. When you see something different from the usual, it's strange. It's just like when you bring a child in the world for the first time. The child is, that cry, because the child comes into a new world and it's out of the womb, and it feels some kind of breeze around it, and it's strange, and begin to cry. But later the child becomes used to it. So God will help us in Biafra. We're going to start talking, we'll begin to talk like every other nation of the world, where we are not going to side people because we have an emotional attachment to them, but because they are standing on the path of truth, and some people have decided to, go off, unsubscribe and do lots of things. And it's funny. I'm not here to get subscription and make money. That doesn't mean that if you're getting subscription and making money is wrong. Anyways, I'm not condemning that, but I'm here for the truth, and nothing but the truth. I want to appreciate you. Somebody sent me a voice message today. I'm saying last time I was talking about Reinhard Bonnke in 2006, and he said he is the pianist, one of the pianists. Of course, I know we had several pianists, but he's one of the pianists, in that program, that period. When I mentioned Joe 2 and all of that, he was surprised that he wants the message to get to me. And I say, yes, my brother. I may not remember, because I know some of the pianists anyway, but I may not remember the face. But yes, of course, Joe 2 was, we first had Reverend Bassi of Caris Band, Caris Music Ministries. And that time I was a music manager to Caris Band. And anyways, we first had Caris Band, being in charge, and as Reverend Bassi as the chairperson to the music committee, and I was the vice chairperson of the music committee. Then Joe 2 now later came on, and Joe 2 now took the mantle and now started coordinating everything. And so we worked with Joe 2 effectively that period. Joe 2 is my very close friend. We were very, very, very close. In fact, in 2014, in 2016, we started working together under in my NGO, and he became a major player in the parts of projects. He became my executive project manager, then, in the NGO. And of course, we facilitated so many things together, and we were working up to a very big program in the zoo, which if you go to my Facebook profile, you'll see it as one of the pictures there, at the background. And that program that was held in Nikon Luxury Hotel, Abuja in 2020, March 14th. And Joe 2 was the executive project manager of that project. And then, of course, he was supposed to come over to where I am in 2021, because after the NSAS thing and when that chaos began, I left the zoo quickly, impromptu, without planning, without of course we were escaping for our lives. So I came over to where I am, and of course, and then along the line, I changed location, and I know how to change location because I know people are trailing me, so people want to get me, but I'm smarter than that. So Joe 2 was supposed to come, but he died 1 month later. That was he died on the 25th or so of earlier of May 2021. We're supposed to see 1 month later, but he died. And some of you may know Joe 2. Those of you who are in the music ministry, of course, those of you who are in TREM, the Redeemed Evangelical Ministry of Bishop, what's it? I can't remember his name now. Bishop Okonkwo, you know, of course, of Trem. So Jotu was one. Is if nobody when you talk about Jotu, they know him there. So when I'm saying my things, I say things clearly, and thank God somebody was able to confirm it and say, yes, I know. I remember that time we did the program together. Together in 2006, we gathered a mass choir of about 10,000 people for the crusade that was held at Ijesha in Lagos. Jotu coordinating and being in charge of the whole process, and all of that. This says, Mazi, you have to be strong. Yes, I'm very strong. I know what it means to go for freedom, especially when you have the heart to actually say the truth. Our people are strange to truth. So sometimes you have to be very, very patient and to watch things happen. I know that God has a plan for Biafra, and that is why we are all here. And we are going to see it evolve. When Moses began the gospel, the proclamation of the truth, the people never agreed to the truth, and at a point they fought him. The same way also when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu came, the people fought him. They fought him, but later on, their eyes were open to the truth. And of course, along the line, we know that people who are going to come in, and as people come in, they're going to express and they're going to show their character and all of that. But God still prepares people who would also come in, who are going to hold on to the truth. I want to ask those who are attacking and doing everything, what is it that we're asking for that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu didn't say we should talk about? And somebody was saying that, can you ask Mazi Nnamdi Kanu for accounts? Of course, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu had the DOS, and the finance was accountable. They know what was happening, even if they didn't have their hands in the account. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is somebody who is accountable, and he believes in accountability. And so what he did, he gave records. They had their records. They were operational, in that regard, about accountability and all of that. So when you see us asking for accountability, we're not asking because we need to get. And somebody was saying, these people, they like to be mischievous. Somebody was saying, how much have you given that you want to, that you want to account? Why would you adjudge my giving to my knowing about the accounts? It doesn't make sense to you. Why are you telling you? I asked you a question last time. I said, why are you telling your governor to give you to be transparent, and when you don't give your governor money for what he's doing? So that doesn't make sense. That is actually out of the place. God, good evening, Kelechi. I think you people are trying to settle with Simon and let certain things go for the meantime, and let's move forward. People sacrifice their life. Yes, my brother, that is why we are doing what we're doing. Emmanuel Afre. Honestly, the reason why we're doing what we're doing is because people sacrificed. And because of the sacrifices of people, we have to be very cautious to make sure that we don't rubbish the reputation of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He's one of those who are fundamentally sacrificed, suffering the pains and all of that. So if Simon is genuine, what he would have done is to, you saw when I don't know whether you guys listened to Pastor Livingstone's broadcast just about an hour ago, the 2 hours plus broadcast, and Pastor Livingstone was able to give. Please, if you have not listened to it, go to Facebook, Emeka Livingstone, and you will see the broadcast live there. You will get the analysis, the details of the facts. Please, let's always be curious to know what transpires about a particular thing. From what transpires, you can tell who is the criminal and who is not a criminal. Prejudice. See, when you approach issues in life, you should understand that whatever issue God made you meet, and you are not able to be just in your judgment, life is transmogrifying, and life is like a cycle. You will circumnavigate and come to the same point where you will now be in that position, and you are seeking justice, and you find that justice evades you. And that is when you now know. It's just like most of those who are crying in the zoo today. We tell them that you have to leave Nigeria. Nigeria is corrupt, Boko Haram killing people and all of that. Some of them will come and abuse you. They will tell you so many things. And one day, their brother or their father or their sister or their child is now kidnapped, and all of that. And then when they are kidnapped, they begin to say, Nigeria must go down. Now, because it has happened to them, they now say that. Now I have an e-frog here who is always jumping around wherever I am. He wants to jump around. You're welcome, my e-frog. You're welcome. So I am expecting your messages, your stupidity to be exhibited today. Again, just continue posting them. If you want to be healed, if you want to be cured, just go to Emeka Livingstone's Facebook page. You listen to the message. I know people like you, your stupidity can never be cured. So you jump around like frogs and just do what you have to do as frogs do. But I've come to speak with people of conscience today, and I want to tell you that we are on the course of truth, and nothing can stop us. Those of you who think that some people have more rights to Biafra than, and some of you think that what we're doing is family meeting. Who gave you rights to ask for account? Who are you to talk about account? If you don't know who I am, find out who I am. Don't come and ask me who I am, because I don't need to tell you who I am. You just go find out who I am. Make research, ask questions, then you'll know who I am. For the fact that you've not been hearing my voice before now, and now you're now begin to hear my voice, doesn't mean that I have no reputation, or I have no personality, or I just came from the blues. I've been in the system for a long time. And if you think that criminality is what you want in Biafra, then that is not what we stand for. And we, the genuine people of Biafra, will stand to guard the truth. Now, I asked a question on Twitter. I said, why do you want to leave Nigeria? And I know I'm going to get some people there. All they came about was just abusing me. I knew I was going to get people there, because sometimes you need to ask some simple but critical questions. Why do you want to leave Nigeria? Because when such kind of questions, you begin to see now, people will begin to now pour out. And those who want to dance around this stuff, just like we said, Simon, tell Azuka to come give account. And all they did is start to blackmail. They will buy computer for you. You are in Ghana. Me being in Ghana and so if I'm in Ghana, what's the big deal? Are Ghanaians not human beings? And of course, I am the one who told you I'm in Ghana. If you have a proof that I'm in Ghana, bring out the proof to the public. I am the one who said I'm Ghana. But what if I'm telling you the lies? What if I've left Ghana? What if I have left Ghana? What if I'm in the zoo? And what if I've left the zoo and I'm somewhere else? And what if I'm still in Ghana? So all this stupidity you guys are displaying. The truth here is give account. What is you're in Ghana, you took money, you are collecting money here. You collect laptop. We gave you laptop. Let them bring the receipt, the proof that they bought laptop for me. The people who came together, as Pastor Livingstone said today, and all of that, was the think tank when they appointed me as the secretary, and they decided they're going to contribute and get a laptop for me to work. Because my laptop, I have two laptops. One was brought here, one was taken to the zoo. Along the line here, I misplaced mine here, and the one in the zoo is still there. I can't go back to the zoo to get it. And maybe I'm in the zoo, you don't know. So it's complicated. So if you have evidence where I am, just show it. You can't if you have it. So along the line, so it is not Azuka that gave them money. And of course, even if it is Azuka that gave the money, it is not her money. But it's not Azuka. The think tank decided to buy for their secretary. It happens anywhere in the world, in an organization. When you employ someone to do something, just like in the cause of Biafra, I'm employed to do that job, not because I'm employed to be paid. Get sense. Those of you who want to blackmail, you are employed to do a particular work, doesn't mean that you are employed to be paid. Nobody pays anybody's salary in what we do. Employed, and they said, okay, for the work that we're giving you and the assignment, we want to get your laptop to work. And they did. The think tank did. The think tank that Simon is also a member, which of course he didn't contribute to it. So it's not as if he contributed to the monies to get that. And so the think tank did, and that was provided for the person who's going to do the job of the secretariat. And I effectively did the job of the secretariat. You heard when Pastor Livingstone said that I effectively did my job, because I'm a professional, and I'm going to say it anytime. It's not boasting, it's not bragging, it's the truth. And I applied my professionalism into the concept of Biafra. If I didn't want Biafra, I wouldn't bring my professionalism into it. I wouldn't do what I need to do and put what. So those of you who are commenting, I don't know what you have done significantly. Some of you have been here for a long time. Some of you are just frogs, jumping from one place to the other. You can tell me significantly what you have done, but I can tell you what I've done. I worked in 5 committees significantly. And when I exposed truth, I was not removed because before I exposed the truth. No, I exposed truth even when I was still in those committees. That tells you that it is not about the position. Because even when I was exposing it, I told them, I said, I knew they were going to remove me from these places. And truly, when they removed me, I called Pastor Livingstone and I said, see, you have removed me from the advisory board. I expose. Some of you will want to guard your positions, like some of those people who call themselves Autopilot media personnel, who are just frogs working for corruption. you know, and lies. They don't want to be true to their conscience. Because of that position and that special position they want to occupy, and that little token they are going to be getting, you know, like 247, who is a blogger who is getting money from the platform. So he doesn't want to miss it, you know. Because of that little they are getting, they will not say the truth. But I was working with it. I was on the advisory board, and I was the secretary of the advisory board. I was the think tank. I am in the think tank, which is still there, and I'm the secretary of the think tank. I was on the Biafra Odudua platform, and I was the secretary of that platform, appointed by Simon himself to be the secretary. I was in the recruitment board, which I know that if you come there to, you just see the childishness of recruitment. You just wonder, is this how to? Things are very disorganized, and we call it recruitment. No professionalism. I just observe. I just came there. I was put there, you know, and I just observe. And I was in the what else was that? There was the last one, or the fifth one. I'm trying to remember. I worked in all these places. Let me try to remember the last one. 5 of them, and I worked effectively. I gave my services to Biafra, not to any man, not to Simon. I have the orientation because Mazin Emeka has taught us, and I know for myself that the work I'm doing is for Biafra. It's not for anybody. Soldier come, soldier go. That's how they say barrack remain. So when you have an opportunity to serve, make sure you have. That is why the constitution we drafted, the insight we gave in that constitution is that nation first, because we have seen the evil in Nigeria and we want to correct these things. And these are some of the things that are fundamental to any nation that want to heal. If you don't think of nation and you think of self, you are going to destroy the image of nation by destroying self. Because self will will indulge in some stuff that will be very detrimental and very, 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 that will jeopardize the sustenance and the continuity of nation. So the first thing you do when you have an assignment from now, not until Biafra comes, because if you can't do it now, you cannot do it when Biafra comes. You know, somebody's asking if you're a Biafra. Why do you want to know I'm Biafran? Must I be a Biafran to work for Biafra? That is how stupid you guys are. Rather than face the truth and face the issues, you're asking me if I'm Biafra. You're asking me if I'm Biafra. When other nations came to support Biafra, were they Biafra? Finland today came in the side of Biafra. Were they Biafrans? When what's his name now? Mayrock Bruce set himself ablaze in America. A Colombian set himself ablaze. Was he a Biafran? So you call yourself Ndu Buisi. Ndu Buisi. Life is fundamental, at least basically based on that. You know, and you cannot think rightly. You're asking me if I'm Biafra. You're asking me if I'm Biafra. Chinon. So look at your name. Just have beautiful names, but sense not in your head. If I'm Biafra, must I be a Biafran to fight for Biafra? Okay, I'm not a Biafra. So what else? If I'm not a Biafran, they put me on the advisory board. I'm not a Biafran. I was put in the think tank. I'm not a Biafran. Not just being on the advisory board as a secretary too. The members, they appointed me as secretary, which of course they refused me to do my job as secretary. They were still doing the job. I was just looking at everybody. I'm not a Biafran. I was given the opportunity. Nobody asked the question whether I'm a Biafran. I was still the person who is propagating all those gospel that I am not a Biafran. The person, he didn't say it then, and none of them said it. You know, when I want to come up, it just becomes stupid. I am on the think tank board, and no, you didn't ask whether I'm a Biafran. On the recruitment, the third one, you didn't ask I'm a Biafran. On the media, Autopilot media, you didn't ask I'm a Biafran. On the Odudua Alliance and all of that, and Biafra Odudua Alliance, 5 boards, you didn't ask if I'm a Biafran. After I have served and all of that, and I'm now telling you the truth and trying to expose the truth, you're coming to ask me if I'm a Biafran. Can you imagine how dumb some people can be? So if I'm not saying the truth, so what is lies and what I'm saying? Ask them if I didn't work in those places. Okay. Ask them if I didn't work in those places. So if you say I'm not a Biafran now, send me my birth certificate and tell me who I am. Stupid idiots. I'm not here for you. You are an e-frog. So continue your comments. All of you who are e-frogs, continue your comments. That's what you're supposed to be doing here. And I love e-frogs to be around so that we can begin to see their stupidity. So now, Pastor Emeka Livingstone had given a broad, a broad dimension to the facts on ground, and he gave analytically very critical facts that Biafrans should understand. But now this is a rejoinder to his broadcast. He pointed out so many things, and he actually propelled the minds of the people, those who are reasonable, to understand the concept of utilizing the senses, and to think and to understand that the basic facts and the basic procedure to a Biafra that is not of Nigeria features is only evident when we decide to hold on to the truth. Now, I was telling you people something last time. I said, Boris Johnson, most of you are in UK, of course, those who are in UK, in the United Kingdom, can attest to this. Boris Johnson was not removed from office because he had money. No. Boris Johnson was not removed. Forget about timing, my brother. Yes, my brother. See, Anthony, let me explain something to you. We have been having these issues of accounts since last year, since July last year. And the women have been complaining. And I have been fighting it. Azuka herself knows. That's why she cannot call me. Even when she called Victor and lying to Victor against me, that I said Victor and told him that her face, asking Victor why is Victor saying that her face will not be on the currency, whereas she knows that I didn't mention Victor on it. She just wanted to make a point. Victor told her, call Kelechi, and in this call now, let him say what you say I said. Rather than calling Kelechi, she called Pastor Livingstone. So I have always been, let me not say antagonistic, because if I say antagonistic, it sounds negative. Let me say I've always been critical about accountability. And when I was being told about the funds, even the media people can testify. In fact, at a point, I became isolated in the media team because I was the only one now asking for accounting. And everybody was saying that since Simon have said he's in the know of the accounting, of the accounts, why are we pushing this? Since he knows, then we should leave it, and all of that. And my understanding, my take there is, initially when this accounting started, Simon said he doesn't want to have anything to do with the accounts, because I remember I suggested that his name also, he becomes one of the signatories. If I don't want Simon to progress, will I say he should be part of the signatories? Because I wanted accountability, and I believed in him, and I said I want him to be part of the signatories so that he will know what is happening, so that when they are saying only women are going to be signatories, according to what they are saying, they want to leave it for Umuada, Simon should be part of it. But he said he doesn't want to be part of the signatory. He doesn't want to have anything to do with the account. Now he's telling us not to ask for the account for accountability, and that he knows what is happening to the account. How come, if you say you don't want to have anything to do with the account, how come now you are knowing things that are going on in the account? And now the person now who gets the Umuada together to agree, they start together to agree, which is Azuka, that they were going to be accountable, and every 2 months they are going to lay out the accounts. And for God's sake, is it that we don't understand what it means to be in a civilized system where you give account? Does it have to do with relationship or have to do with emotion? Accounting is critical. Even in family meetings, the family meeting you attend, they ask for account. Monthly accounts are given. Yearly accounts are given. Mid-year accounts are given. Everywhere, including even your family, even you that works, you have account of the things you spend every day in your family. Your children, you teach them to be accountable in the house, in the family. So accounting is normal. It's significant to life. Even God himself asked the man to take dominion and be accountable to creation. I mean, be accountable to him. God even says that we shall give account of our lives. So how come that people who are looking for freedom are afraid to ask those who are pursuing themselves as those who will stand in front and ask for accounts, are afraid to ask them for accounts? Now, when we get to Biafra, how are you going to demand for account if you cannot demand for account now? So, then I was skeptical, because if you say you don't want to be a signatory, you don't want to have anything to do with accounts, why are you not telling us not to ask for accounts now, and that you know about the accounts? And then you went further to say that Azuka is reporting to you. How come Azuka reports to you? Azuka is supposed to report to Biafrans. Everybody who is appointed to do a particular job is subject to the people. The people are not subject to you. That is what is called democracy. That's why it's called democracy. The government of the people, by the people. And so when we say, and we are Republicans by nature, we say you are going to be the spokesperson. Biafrans said it. It is not you. We collectively, in fact, somehow, it's not as if we gathered and arranged to call you the spokesperson, but somehow we began to call you the spokesperson, and we all unanimously accepted the fact that you're a spokesperson, which means the position you occupy is by the people. And if the people give you such privilege, you should see it as a privilege of service to the people and to nation. You shouldn't see it as an opportunity for personal aggrandizement or personal push to totalitarian control or to jeopardize the collective interest of the people. Or you shouldn't see it as, as an opportunity to be an emperor. That is why I said something. When this saying that goes around, some of you don't understand it critically when they say power corrupts, but absolute power corrupts absolutely. Right from time when those hailings started, when people started calling Simon several kinds of names, I've never called him one of those names. He knows. I just greet him well, and I say, sir. I greet him, sir, and I respect him, and I love him. And so all those hailings, I knew it was going to mislead him, because I have already understood his mental faculty and his idiosyncratic nature. He's somebody who is egoistic, naturally, if you observe, and all of that. I'm not saying this to bring him down, but I'm saying facts, because when things go wrong, we have to look for the solution, and that is fundamental to life. I'm come here to actually give you people perspective to understanding, because I'm doing a rejoinder to what Pastor Livingstone said today, and to make our people understand, because wisdom is profitable to direct or to direct. However, if you are void of wisdom, you are going to come all out speaking so many words without content, without something, a content in it. And that is why we have come to tell you the truth. If we find a fault, you deal with it that moment before it becomes a monstrous situation where we now begin to fight deadly and begin to destroy ourselves. The reason why Nigeria got to the point it is today is because those who began it, even if they saw the signs of dangers, of evil, and of critical situation that will affect generations and the nations, the indigenous nations, they never looked critically into the facts to make sure that they solved and resolved the matters, or think about calling to question what do we call it now? That alliance, or do we call it an alliance? No, that marriage. Let's use the word marriage, because you were forced together. They didn't think critically to actually analyze the situation. They found themselves in a situation where they just, because people like Nnamdi Azikiwe, felt that okay, this is a big Nigeria, wow, Biafra, Oduduwa, Hausa, Fulani, everybody coming together, and I being the president. Wow, that sounds beautiful. And so, he was so driven by self, and he quickly kept endorsing Nigeria and helping the British to expand the scope of control and empowering the Fulanis over the people. Now we see where we are. Suddenly, Ojukwu went into war because people like Nnamdi Azikiwe were jeopardizing the chances of the people being free. Even when Ojukwu was standing for freedom, the same people, oh my God, Biafrans, we need to learn. We need to learn. We are our enemies. If we can be saved from this self-destruction, if we can allow ourselves to be saved from this self-destruction, we can go far. You should understand that a call for accountability is a call for nationhood. When you stand to ask for accountability, you should understand that you are standing as a patriotic citizen of a nation. And when you are told to be accountable and you feel threatened because you are told to be accountable, then it's obvious and an evidence that you are corrupt and that you are criminal. Anytime just like you have an account with somebody, you open an account and a bank account, you are having this collective savings with somebody, And then you now say, okay, how much do we ever have in an account? Let's bring it and the person says, no, you don't have a right to know. The money is being contributed by Biafrans, is contributed for Biafra. It doesn't matter who has contributed, who has not contributed. It's just like when a nation is engaged in business and we have those who are not employed, we have those who are employed. Those who are employed are using their energy and all of that to raise resources or to get resources for the nation. Those who are not employed are people who are seeking to be employed, but yet they have the right to ask the government and to ask the government to give account. That is what we call being part of a nation. When you are called to give account, you are only told to be patriotic. You are only told and reminded of your position as a servant, so that you don't think that you own yourself and you own the people. So that you will understand that the people are fundamentally the ones in charge. And so when the people ask for an account, which of course should be a norm, they're actually calling for your patriotic side to come to play. So when you find yourself not given your being accountable, then you have proven that you are not patriotic. 1, 2, you have proven that you don't regard the people. 3, you have proven that you don't respect the people. 4, you have proven that your intentions are not genuine. And again, when you now go into blackmail because you are being asked for accountability, then the people should understand that truly here you are dangerous and you are evil. But it's going to be surprising and it is shocking that even the people who should be asking for accountability based on the fact that some people have raised it and who are still screaming that Nigeria, Buhari, and all the governors should give them account and be accountable, are here fighting an approach of accountability. Now, why did we come with the concept? Why did we raise the issue of accountability right now? ESN, that the funds have been raised for, began to complain. And the complaints were just so massive that we now call Simon. Simon, come for a meeting. The ESN, the people you are speaking for, want to speak with you. Because for you to speak for the people, you have to speak. For you to speak for them, you have to speak with the people. If you don't speak with the people, you don't have what to speak for the people. So what do you speak for the people when you have not spoken with the people? What does it mean to be a spokesperson? It simply means you are speaking on behalf of a people. You're not speaking on behalf of a gang. No, you're speaking on behalf of the people. And the people are represented by a broad spectrum of people who the people also listen to. That's how it's done. And based on the fact that this is freedom fighting, we have a situation where the people speaking in the media right now, and since we don't have a government yet in a formal setting that represents a sovereign nation, we have, several factions of government in exile and all of that, and we have a Biafra and Republic of Biafra government in exile, and we have others, who want to actually take that position and who actually want to run in that regard. Now, when you want to speak, when you are appointed as a spokesperson, you engage the people and then you go on behalf of the people to speak. Now, you always call for lockdown without consulting the people, but we still go out and push it because it is to our interest. You talk about countdown, you never consulted the people, but you came on with that idea and we followed you judiciously. In fact, we have become a laughing stock now where people are asking about the lockdown, the countdown. You made Biafrans count 1 to 150 for 150 days, only to bring us to ridicule. You are not working with the men on ground. We decided to call a meeting. The meeting was called, you refused to come, and as soon as the meeting began to blackmail the people, which means you don't have the interest of the people in your heart. Because if you have the interest of the people in your heart, and if you know you have done the right thing, you wouldn't have stopped. You wouldn't have resisted the call to meet with the men on ground, Onyendu, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu instituted and gave the command to secure Biafra land. You won't despise the people in whose hands and whose responsibilities are to secure the Biafra nation, secure the land of the people. It would have been a privilege, you would have seen it as a privilege, to come listen to this man rather than going online to blackmail them, calling them criminals, calling them all sorts of names. If we will go into the definition of criminality and all of that, I can give you vivid. I don't want to go deep into these matters because I'm just trying to save the heart of so many people so that they don't break down. Because if I want to go deep, I'm going to play lots of things. I'm going to say lots of things and all of that. But if we want to go deep into this, you'll discover I can prove to you that criminality is something that they represent fully and not what they say about the people. Now, I want to tell you this. Pastor Emeka Livingstone was able to give vivid on the explanation of this. And he said something. He said that Simon has lost it. He was being frank. He was being frank. He said it critically. If you are wise, you will not despise what I'm saying. Nkiru, it's obvious that you are daft. That's why you are speaking and pointing this on my platform. If you are reasonable, you listen to words effectively. If I am saying give account and giving account now means that you are criminal, then something is wrong with you. And I tell you, I don't need to say some stuff. There's some things that you need to say, but sometimes we don't want to say them because we don't want to actually get too emotional about some certain things. But what we're doing here is actually critical because we are laying the facts. We want a nation that is true and just. We don't want a nation that is another replica, is a replica of Nigeria. We want a nation of people who are true and people who have the heart of the people. Or else tomorrow you will get into a nation where you are now in trouble because the evil now turns and faces you, and you are looking for justice and you don't get justice, and you begin to say, what have we done to ourselves? What we are doing now, you might not appreciate it now, but of course with time you're going to appreciate it. Now Simon has missed it because he has refused to be accountable to the people. He has refused to allow himself to be humble and listen to the people. He has made himself an emperor, and he has made himself arrogant enough to despise and abuse elders and to insult people who give him the truth. You heard Pastor Emeka today giving analysis and the details of how these letters were generated, and he read out the letters to you, professionally put together and given to and sent to the office of the spokesperson of Biafra professionally. And in that regard, we give him the respect and honor. Give honor to his office. And rather than give respect and honor to the people as elders, to everybody there who is working with him, they are his elders. So he should have given them respect too. As a spokesperson, he's not the leader of Biafra, of course, we know. I heard this guy saying that as intelligent, educated as I am, I'm calling him the leader. Yes, I'm sorry, because I actually made a mistake. He's supposed to be the spokesperson. He's not the leader of Biafra. We know that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the leader of Biafra, and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is still alive. Now, I want you guys to know that that issue of currency is critically what led to all of these things you are seeing. Now, I was telling you then, I said, before I was still serving in these committees, these 5 committees, before I stood against that impunity. You know why? I was not considering my position, whether being 5 committees. That's not the important. That's not. It was about service. Every of those committees was about service. It was not about, coming to say, yes, I've arrived. No, I've worked in committees in this life. I've worked in real committees. I'm talking about committees. I've worked with top people. So I'm not driven by all these, they put you in this committee and you think you have arrived. No. And you are seeking to preserve. No. Once lies come, speak about it, and I will speak against it. And so once that issue of currency came up, I spoke against it. And that was when they started removing me from the committees. And I stood for the truth, and I refused to get away from the truth. And we collectively now began to work towards the truth. Now, why that currency thing is critical is this. When Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was talking about currency, I want to open your eyes to this. When Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was talking about currency, he said to us that he's proposing particular name and that we're going to do this and that and all of that. It is not in his power to do. If you remember, this is the leader of Biafra. Get it? Get it? He said it is not in his power to do. What is in his power to do is to constitute a committee that is with wider consultation, to bring about a committee that will sit, that represents every part of Biafra, to sit and discuss this matter. That committee would effectively discuss this and come with a decision. In spite of the fact that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is the leader of Biafra people, he never abused his office by taking advantage of that office and declaring currency and imposing it on us. No, he didn't. He said that when the time comes, they are going to sit and decide. And whatever they decide, he said this in 2020, if you remember vividly. Whatever they decide, he said in 2020, May or June or so, or July, whatever they decide, I would accept. It is not in my office too. That is what a real leader says. Now imagine Simon talking about his face on the currency. Imagine Azuka, imagine Ngozi, imagine Oge and all of that. Of course, and all of that. I don't, it's so funny. Now imagine them talking about their face in the currency. Somebody will say, maybe because they didn't put your face in the currency. Well, they told me critically that in fact, they can also consider my face for the currency. I've not mentioned this before. So I didn't want to say that because that's unnecessary. It's not important. But if you are giving me that kind of analogy, then I'll tell you that Pastor Victor told me that they are even considering they can also put my face in one of the lower denominations. And I said, this is not acceptable. None of this is necessary. So that's not the issue. It's not about my face or nobody's face or anything. I'm not concerned about title. I'm not concerned about lead. I am speaking the truth. And when Biafra comes, I prefer to even sit by the side, continue my discussion, continue my orientation and reorientation programs, and then speaking for Biafra people, for those who are being oppressed, for those who will be sidelined, for those who will not have justice. I'll keep speaking because when we have our nation, we'll still have issues coming up. I prefer to stay there and speak for the people. I'm not thinking of leadership, whether to be a president, whether to be a governor, whether, no, I'm not interested. I'm interested in staying in my lane and making sure that everything I do, I keep speaking for the people. And that is what I know I'm going to do effectively. Very, very effectively. I'm going to stay there and do it very effectively. So whatever it is, I'm not doing it because of position and whatever. I'm not doing it because of position and whatever. I serve Biafrans based on where they want me to serve. When Biafrans want me to serve, I serve. And people know that in this regard, I serve very well. I speak very well. And I'll tell you and I'll teach you very well, and all of that, And the reason why this currency thing is important and very, 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 very important is because when the currency, as I have said before, represents the face of a nation, represents the value, the economic value of any nation. If you just like when you talk about the American dollar, it represents the image of America economically. So our currency represents the image of the people, So now, if you are going to do anything about the currency, when you go against the economy of any nation, you are committing treason. So when you begin to put your faces in the currency, when the leader have said it is not in his own power to do so, and you that is appointed by the people to be a spokesperson because the leader is somewhere, you now decide to make up your faces in the currency and begin to take action regarding the currency and decide to print immediately and looking for designs and start printing. It simply means that you are committing treason because you are going against the authority. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, who is the authority, he says he doesn't have the power, and you that is appointed by the people as a spokesperson now decide to go and do what Mazen Nnamdi Kanu says he doesn't have the power to do. That is treasonable. It's called treasonable felony. That means you are a criminal. Somebody says, Ghana man. Look at this idiot. And so if I'm a Ghana man, what's your business? If I'm a Ghanaian, what's your business? Am I denying Ghanaians? Am I denying Ghanaians? You are just a big fool. Am I denying Ghanaians? Yes, I'm a Ghanaian. So what? And what are you? You that is a Biafran, what have you done for yourself? As a Ghanaian person, I'm speaking for you now. In your stupidity, I'm helping you to get out of your stupidity. But I know you will not get out of your stupidity because I know that you are just stupid naturally. So continue, E-Frogs. I enjoy your comments and I enjoy what you people are doing. Now let me go. I don't get distracted. Now, currency represents the image of the people. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu says, I don't have the power to make that decision because it represents the image, the economic image of the people. So I don't have the power to take the decision. Now you, who is called a spokesperson, not even ordained by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, but by the people who give you that authority, now comes to say now that you have the right to put your face. You have the right to do this. Now, when I resisted that, and when Azuka came for the meeting, and when I told her it is unacceptable, we gave you facts, and you tell us that you are going to make your own investigation. Who gave you the power to make investigation on behalf of the nation? We are supposed to constitute a committee for the nation, not you going to make a personal investigation, because she has seen herself as one who is in control. She's in charge of the finances. The husband's account is being used in America. The husband is not a member of Umada, neither is he a member of the IPOB, Autopilot stuff. Of course, we know now. Let me explain to you people something before I explain that. Let me say he's not a member of that, but his name is in the account. He is the owner of the account. She is the owner of the account in Nigeria. She controls the account. She knows how much is in the account. She has a few people around there who are, intimate and whom she can tell one or two and they're going to obey. People who are henchmen to her. They are the ones who know about the account. She disburses the funds. She decides what is bought. She takes the records of what is bought. She tells you how much is spent and what was spent. She's the one who gives accounts. She's the one who does the auditing for herself. No Biafran. The woman that cannot know. That's those ones who are real. So where does that happen in a nation? That is a big blunder. That means those people in that nation are stupid. They are daft. They are idiots. It's only in a nation of idiots that kind of things happen, and people can still justify it for the fact that Azuka can bring her husband as her husband's account for the past 9 or so months. Money is going into the husband's account. Nobody knows how much is going in. Nobody knows how much is going out. Everything she says the monies are entered. Is going to where they're going, and nobody can ask questions. That means that nation is full of idiots. And somebody's asking me, are you a Biafran? Are you not an idiot that somebody's account, a personal account, is being used to run your business as a nation? And you are here asking me an irrelevant question if I'm a Biafran. Are you not? Don't you see how your idiocy, as Mazi Nnamdi Kanu says, in front of you, how an idiot you are? That you are asking me if I'm a Biafran. And the critical question is, somebody is holding your money in their account, using it for business, using it for cryptocurrency, using it for different business. And you are here asking me if I'm a Biafran. Is it not stupidity in the highest order? That you are concerned about me speaking for you, that you say I'm not a Biafran, speaking for you, even if you say I'm not a Biafran, I accept. But now I'm speaking for you to get sense. And now you are asking me if I'm a Biafran. You're not looking at the facts. Now, this same Azuka called Victor and was asking Victor, why are you against my face being on the currency? Victor Obina, why are you against my face being on the currency? Victor said, when did I oppose your face being on the currency? She said, Kelechi said that you are one of those who oppose my face from being on the currency. Now, this is somebody who has hijacked your funds. Now she wants to put her face on your currency. And Victor said, call Kelechi in my presence, or in this call now. Let's question him. Rather than call Kelechi, she called Pastor Livingstone. Pastor Livingstone said, is not this Victor? Pastor Livingstone said, no. Victor is not and the issue is not even whether anybody is saying that somebody is opposing your face and the currency. I didn't say somebody is opposing. I am saying that Pastor Victor called me, Victor Adim called me and said that you people they have decided to put your faces in the currency, and that I should go and make the design. And I said, no, it's not possible. It is null and void. It cannot work. It will destroy everything we're doing as a nation. If I don't love Biafra, will I speak for Biafra? I said it will destroy what... Can you imagine now that currency just comes out and you see the face of Azuka and everybody? Can you imagine what would have been happening to us now? Laughing stock. We would have been a ridicule to the world. Now, in that place again, as she was speaking to the Victor, she now discovered, and when Pastor Livingstone now said, no, it's not Victor. Victor wanted to tell her an issue because Victor had been trying to reach her. She never picked Victor's calls. She was not picking Victor's calls. She was not talking to Victor. Simon was not speaking to Victor. They were not picking his call. They just reject his call. But because it has to do with something that concerns the currency and her face being on it and feeling that Victor is resistant, she decided to call Victor. When she called Victor, Victor said, oh, I was even about to call you. I am not okay. And she said, whatever is making you not okay, that's not what I called you for. This is what I called you for. Why did you reject my face? Why are you resisting my face on the currency? And in the long run, Victor wanted to talk about that. She now made another call to somebody else as they were on the phone, called a commander. Because, of course, that was the period when Mirugo was making his publicity and, and all of that, pushing it on social media. And so they were already attacking Mirugo. And she was asking that commander, have you gotten the location of Mirugo? Victor was on phone with her. She was asking that commander. And the commander said, yes, we have gotten, I won't call those ones commanders. They've now become mercenaries, because what was done is that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's ESN was divided. They now started funding a particular people who are going to be under them to make sure that they do their bidding. And Mirugo became afraid. He now went and deleted all the messages. Because he's in the zoo, of course, so he has to be cautious. This is somebody who has been with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Mirugo, the commander. And these are the people they're calling criminals. He's also called a criminal. And somebody's asking me, are you a Biafran? How stupid you are. Obviously stupid. Obviously, oh Lord have mercy. We want a nation of truth. You don't joke with currency. And that is what made Salmon go mad. And that's what made all of them go mad. And they think that because you're asking, because of the criticalness of the currency and the calls that were coming in from our men were not receiving supplies. We now decided to call a meeting, which he was invited for. We invited to come, and he didn't come. He was not there. He couldn't come for the meeting. He didn't come, not he couldn't come. Mrs. Adazayan, don't mind it will not get to Biafra. Don't mind those people. The injury will happen to me. Injury will not happen to me because I do not want the repetition of the US and Nigeria. And don't mind those guys. They are e-frogs. They, sometimes I don't look at them. I know what I'm doing is correct and right. So I know that whenever I come up, they would just they will tell them, hey, go there and fire him. Go there and fire him. That is that's how the sacked defunct members of the US were doing. They send their e-frogs to go after you and all of that. And so it's part of the system. Now this is it. You came all out, Simon. Let me direct this now to Simon. You came all out and started naming the names of people and started exposing their location. This is the same thing that Chinansa or Chikedozium was doing, that you came all out, calling them evil, that they are setting our people to be killed. Now you came on air to tell the people that I'm in Ghana, so people should track me. That's what you mean. You came on air, brought Papa Ijima's picture and told people to circulate it and mention this village and then tell people to circulate it. The same thing that defunct members of the US were doing, and you were castigating, making publicities, making broadcasts, saying so many things about. What does this tell you? The same way Madam Uyibo refused to give accounts, the same way also you are resisting Azuka. I'm shielding, sorry, not resisting, shielding Azuka from giving accounts. What does that tell you? Now, what I deduce from this is this. The only reason why you guys were doing this is because you were not the ones in control then. If you were the ones in control, you wouldn't have talked about transparency and all of that. Now that you're in control, you are now speaking the same thing they were doing. Now you're doing it, which means that all you needed was to come to take position, not because you wanted transparency. Now we counted 150 days. This is a rejoinder to Pastor Emeka because I have to, expatiate too, at least in my own way. My God, Pastor Emeka gave that stick, because we have to prove that. Because I told you people, I said Boris Johnson was not sacked because he was a criminal. He was sacked because they felt that he was insincere about somebody he brought into the cabinet, whom he knew that did something wrong or so. But because he knew about it, yet he didn't say anything about it, they thought he should be impeached. Also, during the COVID time, he was part of he he organized the party or was in a party or so, whether he organized it or somebody organized, but he was in the party, you know, and said he was not sincere about that party. He didn't say the truth about the party and the COVID thing. So these were the reasons where Boris Johnson was removed. And interestingly, even those who were henchmen to Boris Johnson at a point, they said, hey, we can't hold this again. We can't defend you anymore. In fact, your own done too much self. This kind of why they make errors like this. They worked against him in their party, in the same party. They worked against him. They said, we cannot back you up again. That is what we call patriotism. Patriotic people don't look at the individuals. Patriotic people look at the collective interest of the nation. If it were about individual gains, then I would make sure I don't say anything so that I'll continue to enjoy that, that stupid ego that I am in 5 committees. If it were about selfish gains, I would not come to sell people anything. I'll just, okay, put your faces in the currency and let's do it. Print it. Let's put it. I design it. Look at the design. Wow, this is a nice design. Let's print it quickly. And all of you will come and see, will now come out, begin to defend it. Yes, it's good. The currency is good. And soil our conscience. If I were thinking about selfish ambition, I wouldn't fight against what I know will not work for Biafra. So, if you want to be patriotic, you must stand for the truth. Patriotism is to stand for nation and the values of nation and the principles of national success and progress, development and growth. Patriotism is to promote anything that would give value to every member of that nation, no matter whose ass is God. That means no matter who it affects, as long as what you're promoting is positive. Patriotism means this. Let me give you an example of patriotism as a parable. When Jesus's mother and father came, Jesus's mother and brothers came, and they said, the disciples and people came to meet him, say, your mother and your father looking for you. Jesus said, who is my mother and my father? My mother and my fathers and my brothers and those people are people who do the will of the Father. Those who stand on the path of truth. That's what Jesus was saying. These are the people who are my brothers, my sisters, my mother, my cousins, my aunties, my nephews, my fathers, my everything. Because you know why? Being patriotic is value to another person's life. Because the life of a co-citizen is sacrosanct and evident and is what characterizes the nation. It is when you have value and I have value, and together these values come together. That is when we talk about nationhood. Because nationhood is not isolated. It's not an isolated word. It's a combining word. It combines personalities. It combines people. Nationhood is pluralistic in a uniform language. Anyways, uniformity. But of course, in uniformity, yes. Let me use that word, uniformity. Patriotism is what sustains that uniformity and that's national interest. If you are not patriotic in that small corner you find yourself, you can never be patriotic to nation. And if you jeopardize that small corner you are putting the whole nation at risk. Because that small corner you are to serve is evidently a cynosure of the whole nation. So when you talk about patriotism, it starts with your now action by your character and attitude and your intentions. That is why I stood for patriotic behavior than to think of self and my position. That is why when my name was removed from all those departments, I said, good, I can't work under a criminal system. No, it's not possible. And coming to say that we are sacked, the same people who were sacked by the DOS, and we stood and said, you can't sack people. Now, let me explain this to you. IPOB, I've preached this last year. I preached this around September, August last year. And I tried to explain when, Mazin Nnamdi Kanu's wife came out and was doing some stuff. I gave you an analysis of what command and control is. And I gave you an analysis of what IPOB means. And I told you that there's a corporate and organizational IPOB, and there is a national IPOB, Indigenous People of Biafra. Autopilot qualifies these two, which means that the first I mentioned, which is the organizational, is not actually the controller of Autopilot. Just like Pastor Emeka said today, yes, let me refer to his name. Now, this name, Autopilot, was a design, a configuration in the nation of Biafra, which means Indigenous People of Biafra autopiloted in a way that everybody becomes relevant in the process of bringing Biafra, rather than under the umbrella of an organization having the same name as IPOB. Now, IPOB as a nation means the you and the Republican people. That's why I told you the other time. I said, Uwazuruke came out and did all he did. But because the Nigerian government knew who they would bribe, because Uwazuruke was projected, they went after Uwazuruke, they bribed him, and he fell. Mazin Nnamdi Kanu came, and because, of course, our people are very wicked, they were looking for money. They joined the Nigerian government, and they kept him where he is. Now, Simon has come, and because, of course, he rode on the opinions of Mazin Nnamdi Kanu, and the fact that we gave him the support and all of that. And he became too arrogant and proud of himself and thought that he has become an emperor. He now became a target, and he now became, sorry, not a target, he now became, vulnerable to the people, those praise singers who came about and who came and started singing his praise and destroyed him. Now we think, I told her, I said, we are Republican in nature. If we don't approach this concept of our freedom in our natural tendency, that's why I'm preaching the gospel of what IPOB represents. I'm still going to come to that. If we don't approach this matter in our nature and we're trying to imbibe foreign context into it, we're not going to get Biafra. So now, the best way we're going to approach Biafra is this. Rather than projecting one person and fronting one person, and that person becomes a target to the enemies, or become even a target by the people themselves, destroying him, just like they did to Mazin Nnamdi Kanu, trying to put him and destroy Mazin Nnamdi Kanu, but they cannot destroy him. And of course, that they have done to Mazin Samunepa, all of them praising him, and he now jumped into the KG dingy dungeon of pride and arrogance. Rather than doing that, let's go back to our nature, which is Republican nature, where we sit like a family, everybody is equal, and we discuss. And then somebody just stands as a spokesperson and represents the people. So what we do now is this. Everybody makes decision in different committees. We raise different committees for different purposes. Everybody makes their decision, and then they submit these decisions to an executive board that now represents the voice of the people. Now, this executive board looks at these things critically and invites the committees to speak. And then after everything has been agreed on and there are votes carried on them, then the executive board will appoint somebody to go and speak on behalf of the people. That person is not the leader. That person is just to speak for the people. So when Nigeria government want to come and bribe, they don't know who to bribe because everybody is just, nobody is projected as a leader. That is the strategy that will help us. Now, let me tell you this. That NSAS program in September, October 2020 succeeded to an extent because there was no person who was projected as the leader. Everybody there, including me, all of us that were there then, were just moving as everybody, it is everybody's responsibility. Of course, we had people who were just talking on their own as media people. You know, we had this lady who was coming using a platform and all of that, but they were not leaders. Everybody was just, so Nigeria government didn't know who to bribe. They were looking for who to bribe, who to call. They were not seeing everybody. The thing was just flowing. They didn't know who to bribe. That was when they sent the military to come and kill people because they knew they want, all they needed to do is to put fear in the people, and the people on their own would disperse. And that is what happened. That was what happened. As soon as they came and shot people at Lekki, everybody ran away, including me. That's why I ran away from the zoo. Everybody ran away. You know why? Because fear is coming. They couldn't bribe me because nobody was. Emmanuel, why am I called into Biafra program to raise your hand? You say, Emmanuel Obino, you say, I follow your hand. Am I called here to raise your hand to tell you what is? You have always been my program telling me, wow, you are great, you're doing well. Now you're telling me I'm following your hand. Did I come to Biafra movement to raise anybody's hand? I came to raise the nation, to raise the hand of the nation, to raise Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's hand, because he represents the conscience of the nation. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu represents the conscience of the nation. I said the third time, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu represents the conscience of the nation. That is why when people like Emeka, Mefo and all of that were blackmailing him, he was still preaching his gospel and going. When the other people came to blackmail him, he was still preaching the gospel, because he's not there to impress anybody. I'm not here to impress you, my brother, and any other person who is feeling like they are not impressed. I'm here for the truth and to project the truth. Now, the reason here is this. We now have to flow in this part. Nobody will be bribed. When we have everybody working together, the Nigeria government will not know who to bribe. Our people will not know who to destroy. Thank you so much. I have spoken at least for an hour, 11 minutes now. So I think Prince, thank you so much for joining. I've been waiting for you anyways. I know you're very busy and you needed to conclude what we're doing.
Sure.
Thank you so much for joining. Please, I'll just leave you because I don't need to even ask you any questions, because I'm doing a rejoinder to Pastor Emeka Livingstone's broadcast. And you, of course, have listened to the broadcast and you have details of the facts of that broadcast. And of course, you are critically in the center of the whole thing. And of course, I have so many things I want to say, but I'm going to stop here. Next time I'm going to say them. So I'm going to leave the floor now to you to say what is on your mind and to expose some stuff and to give Biafrans a perspective to this and open their mind's eye to understand the truth and the truth. Thank you so much, sir. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Kelechi. As always, we give all glory to God Almighty, the owner, creator, and maker of all things. We want to thank God for this day that He has made and made us partakers in. And we pray that all that we say, all that we do, it's only truth, nothing but the truth. And if they are not truthful, He alone, God, is a God of justice. He will dispense justice according to His holy will. In Yeshua's name. You say? So thank you so much, Kelechi. And I want to thank all genuine Biafrans out there. And first of all, I want to reassure all genuine Biafrans that everything taking place right now has to take place for Biafra to come. And can I also apologize because I'm dealing with so many things. So there could be reasons why I may stop in order to respond to certain things I'm having to contend with this morning.
All right.
And that's why I haven't been able to join you since. I would have come on with you at the same time. But by the grace of God, I should be able to give it my pennyworth before I engage in finishing off what I came to do. Now, I want to assure Biafrans that everything happening has to happen. You see, you can't get into Biafra with falsehood. You can't. That's right. God will not allow Biafra to come in the wrong footing. Because I tell you something, if we ever entered Biafra with lies, with crooked people, with people who had stained their hands with one thing or the other, or people who are idolatrous like Nigerians, I am sorry, we will be eaten up by things we never, in fact, we would prefer Fulanese and Britain to remain with this agenda of depression, suppression, annexation, dehumanization. In fact, we would prefer Fulani. Okay, so because God wanted Biafra to come and reveal the truth of our existence, reveal the real reasons why he created man on this earth. God will not give us Biafra, and God will not allow Biafra to come until genuine people who believe in the truth, genuine people who really believe. Nobody is a saint in this life, for Christ's sake. Nobody. However, there are things God detests so badly. We can't be idolatrous. We can't begin to worship fellow human beings. We can't begin to worship money. We can't begin to betray and kill ourselves because of money. There are key things God is looking out for, and it is our intentions that he is reading. Forget about what people say by their mouth. God reads people's intention. Now, all I want is this promise to Biafrans that Biafra will come. Biafra is here. But God is waiting and waiting on those with sincere hearts, sincere purpose, sincere direction. And then God will use those people to get Biafra. You can begin as well as you want. As soon as God dictates in your heart that your heart had derailed, that Satan has entered you, God will turn away and you will start acting stupid. You will start doing things you blamed others for doing. You start acting worse than the people you are blaming without even realizing that that is what you're doing. That is what happens when the mind had gone into psychotic mode, where people now come, all they do now is to, oh, I sack you, I sack that, I sack that. That's what you're seeing now. The same sack. That's what you're hearing now. Now, there is a particular thing I want every Biafran to understand. Every Biafran. Okay? In fact, I addressed that in one of my broadcasts in response to somebody, Uruagu or something. Yeah.
Ikenga.
Ikenga Uruagu. I need people to really remember we are fixated on the truth. Anytime we're talking about issues of Biafra, if it is not truthful, there is no need to talking about it. And we don't care how people interpret it or what people say, whether they are paid agents to act on behalf of Simon and Co., because perhaps they have taken enough of Biafra money. They can now pay people to go and do their dirty work. We know all those psychology. Or they can decide to multiply themselves into 50 people coming into our broadcast and talking rubbish. We know all those silly tactics. We don't play them. Okay, we are Biafrans. So it doesn't matter what anybody says. The most important thing is that we are holding on to the truth, and it is that truth that will drive everything that is rotten, standing in the path of Biafra away, including Simon Eba. Because Simon has clearly displayed the madness that the Biafran spirit will never tolerate. It's an absolute madness, too childish for my liking. I thought he had at least something, but I give it to him. If he wants to dissect a politician or whatever, and where he has evidence, he does a good work on that. That's all he's good at, nothing else. This guy is so poor in man management, so poor in taking information and understanding information to details in terms of administrative, being an administrator of human affairs. So weak that anybody can overpower him. I mean, look at that. Just listen to that video of Azoka and Erewa shouting a man down, rapid. Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh, anyway, let me say this so that you appreciate how personally I knew that this lot, we are that as far as this lot are concerned, we are wasting our time. Biafra is wasting our time. But I know it wasn't a waste of time because it's a process Biafra has to go through before the genuine people with truth will take the. I've told you this is a race. This is a relay. Okay, the people that will finish this relay and get Biafra are the truthful ones. Nnamdi Kanu told you that it is the truth that will get us Biafra. So when he said that, that is what it means. Once you begin to embark on lies, forget it. You are not the one. You will never be the one. It will be a few individuals that are dependent on the truth and will hold on to that button of truth that God will work with to bring and say, this is Biafra. And whatever that brought Biafra is what Biafra will lay its foundations on. So God is not stupid. It's not a God of confusion. So you need to understand the pattern of heaven. Okay? So I've told you in that previous video that it was through divine providence that I got involved in the drafting of the new Biafran constitution. Everybody that knows me knows that I had long been advocating for humanity. I would bore you if I tell you how I got to do that or began to do that. Okay, I will bore the hell out of you, but it is irrelevant. The only thing you need to know about that is that if you're a genuine follower of Yeshua, Jesus Christ charged his disciples, because Jesus Christ is an embodiment of humanity, and the true owner of the emblem, advocate for humanity. If you understand the spirits very well, you will know that Christ said to everybody that followed him genuinely that you are part of the royal priesthood. That means what I am doing, you shall do. And if you have the faith as small as the mustard seed, you will even do greater. Okay, so don't panic. So I tell you, when I looked at the whole world and saw that there was no righteousness anywhere, there was no civility anywhere, all we had are con people, conning you with uniforms, offices, and all the nonsense. I realized that civilization is not happening anywhere, because civilization is not just based on having 24-hour light. How can you be civil just because you have 24-hour light, but you are encouraging the killing of a mother, the raping of a mother, just because you are targeting natural resources? That is not civilization in my book. That can be. How can you be righteous and you're sitting quiet and you're seeing all this evil and you are just masking yourself under a robe, parading to be what you're not? Because when you keep silent in the presence of evil, you are evil in yourself, because you are the one permitting and encouraging that evil. No good person would watch evil and fail to say or do something about it. No good person does that. So when I assessed and looked at the whole mechanisms of humanity, I found that we have to defend humanity. We have to see humanity as a body with numerous parts, and each part needed to contribute something, okay, for that body to work. Scriptures are littered with all these things, so I'm not even telling you something you're not supposed to know. So I knew that I must go out there and advocate for humanity, because if everybody understands humanity and what Christ wanted us to do, our world will change. Suddenly we'll realize that we are here to walk with God, to make things happen. But then, as I advocated for humanity, a day came when it rested on my spirit that there would never be anything called humanity without Biafra. That Biafra must be that beginning for humanity to have a meaning. On the day I realized that, I began to talk on my own. I like to look. I don't follow people. I've told you that. I don't want people to follow me. Don't follow me. All I ask you is to listen to me. Okay, test my spirit. Okay, on the issue of Biafra, just test my spirit, so you will know. Already I have decided what I'm going to offer to Biafran kindergartens and the children. That is where my calling is. I don't want anything. I don't want, no. I don't want, no. Too old for that. Too old. So my business with Biafra is to ensure that humanity comes to its own. Because I know that without Biafra, no, forget about humanity.
That's right.
And you can see it in everything that is happening in this world. Everybody kicking against Biafra is not a human being, okay? I'm not joking. It's just a being. He has no spirit. Everything kicking against Biafra has no spirit. No, because they are pursuing, everything kicking against Biafra is pursuing earthly things that God made. Just go and check it, test it. Everything on this earth kicking against Biafra is a cunning being who is idolatrous, looking for money to grab, looking to steal, looking to kill, looking to destroy, looking to dehumanize. Everything on this earth kill against Biafra is ungodly. You can bet my life on it. So now, as I channeled now my attention to looking at the Nigerian project, which is the most poisonous thing on earth, as I went along, like I said, through divine providence, I listened to Simon, but I don't follow him. I have no intentions to follow him. I have no intentions to even know him. I haven't got that time. No, I'm not that type of person. Okay? I knew Mazin Nandekan, but I didn't want to be personal with anybody. I don't do that. I haven't got that time. Okay? I hope, I don't know, I think I may have lost Kelechi, but if people are hearing me, that's fine. I listen to people. And if what you're saying resonates with me, I'm going to walk along with you. I will even defend you because you are saying things that resonate with me. What that simply means is that any day I find that what you're saying or what you're doing does not resonate with me, I'm sorry, forget it. I haven't got time. Come on. Anyway, I'm going to keep talking. Hopefully, Kelechi would rejoin us. I would believe that you're hearing me. If you're not hearing me, fair enough. God has a way of ministering to people. Because I wanted everybody to understand how I even got, you know, people might think, oh, these are the people advising Simon, but no, it's not true. No, not true. Not me, though. Not me, at least personally. Because when I was approached to join the Constitution Drafting Committee of Biafra, I turned it down because I made it clear that, look, I'm not a lawyer. I was just thinking from that perspective that this is something that lawyers should do. It was only when the gentleman told me, and that was Pastor Livingstone anyway, so it's not a hidden thing. Biafrans don't hide things. And how did Pastor Livingstone get to know me? Let me tell you. I watched Pastor Livingstone's broadcast where he was actually buttressing Simon Ekpa's broadcasts, and where he identified some of the things I had long identified about all these pastors in Nigeria that are the real source of mayhem in brainwashing our people into stupidity. I so much enjoyed what he said. It is him, and it is another pastor, one pastor that actually called Sit at Home for Sundays, Pastor Maxwell Nnawihe. Because for me, when I listen to you and what you say resonates with me, I want to give you your due. So I remember passing comment on after listening to Pastor Livingstone and saying, you are the men of God that we would need in Biafra, because you can see even from your own profession, because Pastor Livingstone is a preacher of the gospel. You can see the default in there. Okay? And I think from there, Pastor Livingstone began to listen to my tape. He began to listen. I don't believe he was following me, but he began to listen to my perspective on issues. That was why he came to me and said, Prince, please, can you come and be part of this? I said, no. I already know what I want to do to Biafra, okay? Because I would love to be part of that help in getting our children to have the right kind of mindset from young, because I know what happens to adult personality. Cut a long story short, I agreed because he pointed out that he wanted the human angle. And I can assure you, as soon as he said that, this thing I told you now came to my mind, that we needed something in that our constitution that will trigger, that will ensure that every child in Biafra has access to environment that will help them to harness their unique qualities in this life. Because I know that is the source where the greatness of Biafra will come from. So because of that, I yielded and I said, okay, I'm going to play a part. Now, listen to this, because it's very important you understand how these things work. I think Simon must have come into that thing about, for me, when I was in attendance, I think not more than 3 times, just to receive feedback on how things are going, and he was very happy. I think it was in one of those events that he told us about writing a letter to United Nations and all the rest. That was the March, I can tell you. I think at a point, Simon told me, when we were looking at issues of how to raise money, in fact, he told me that he's going to get somebody to give me a ring. Well, for me, in my mind, I was even praying that that call should not come, because I don't really want people to give me a job in Biafra that I will start saying, oh, no, I don't want to do this, or I don't want to do that. And I thank God it didn't come, that call. Whatever stopped the call from coming, I have my theory about that, but it's not what I need to be talking about now. But I just wanted you to know how minimal my engagement with Simon up until that time was. So before people think I know this guy, I don't know him. I wasn't too deep in it. No. Now, something happened very critical, and it's important that everybody with brain takes a good listen at this. Something happened when we were in these deliberations on our constitution. A day came when Pastor Livingstone convincingly, because Azuka had made him convinced that Nnamdi Kanu has spoken from DSS. We were all excited, because we all want to hear the voice of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We want to see and hear something that is genuinely from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We were desperate. So Pastor Livingstone said that Azuka has said that, because that Azuka has said that she has insider in DSS, and that thing came from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and Azuka had actually asked him to post that thing on his wall. So he said, the thing is on my wall. Go immediately. Well, you know how technology works, and all of us now believe that, oh no, I couldn't wait to see what Nnamdi Kanu said. Immediately, I went to Pastor Livingstone's wall, and all I was reading was something I wrote. You know, if you follow me very well, you find that whenever I do a broadcast, I like to write some caption on my broadcast, so that people who might not be able to open it might at least read some of the things I've written. And in that broadcast, I was only trying to talk to those who are faithful followers or faithful listeners of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, especially those of them that have turned away and were following obedient. I wanted to remind them the words of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I was paraphrasing. I was telling them that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu had already warned you people about being fooled by Igbo Man presidency 2023. That only anybody who goes for that, I was only paraphrasing those words. That was what Azuka told. When I saw that, my God, I quickly came back to the discussion on our. I said to Pastor Livingstone, listen, that was me. That was me. That's not Nnamdi Kanu, please. The panic was so much that because Simon was about to go live, and somehow I think people may have begun to understand. I didn't at that time. The people may have begun to understand the power of Azuka over Simon. So it was likely that Simon may go as the way Azuka convinced Pastor Livingstone that that was from Mazin and the Kanu, could be the way Azuka had convinced Simon. And we wanted now to stop Simon from going on air to talk about something that didn't come from Mazin and the Kanu. The panic was so much. I can't forget that day. But do you know that as soon as I was able to make that obvious, that that was my own broadcast, I was paraphrasing and I was trying to remind people what Nnamdi Kanu stood for. The embarrassment that came to Azoka was what led Azoka to request my telephone number from Pastor Livingstone. That was how I got to speak to Azoka. I didn't know Azoka. I don't, like I told you, I'm not one. Look, I'm too old. I'm too old to be wanting to know anybody. I haven't got that time. I haven't got that time. That's why if you bring somebody like the Pope now, all I'll be asking him is why he is here and claiming to be Pope, and the world is like this. If you bring Queen of England, I know what I'm going to say to her. Okay? I'm not saying I'm anybody. I'm nothing. I bet I don't think anybody is anything better or bigger or smaller than me. That is how a Biafran thinks. Because a Biafran understands the gift God has given them. And he will never sell that short or more over somebody else's gift. Because God gifted everybody a gift for complementary, for collaboratory, and for cooperation basis and purpose. So a Biafran, for example, I don't want to be anything in Biafra, but anything that I become in Biafra, and I'm going to meet my counterpart elsewhere. And that's why the Biafra I envisage is a Biafra where I'm still going to go back, but I need to narrate this point so you know. A Biafra we are looking for is a Biafra where whoever becomes the president of Biafra, when that person is going anywhere in this world, it doesn't matter where, whoever is receiving that president would know that they are in for some lecture. They'll be waiting to learn. They'll be waiting to gain wisdom. A Biafran president will not be leaving his or her shores, going to go and learn. No, a Biafran president will be going, okay? It will be an exchange in knowledge. That is what it will be. Look, people don't even understand what Biafra is coming to do. That's why they are all these. This guy, Simon, is a child. Just look at him. Look at the mess. It's almost a mess. Yeah, just making noise. Because I mean, for somebody to come and tell you, oh, by the end of November, Obi will finish. Wait until you see what you have on the ground. Oh, just all those stories from here to there and there. Just give me 1 second, baby. Can I just finish and come to you? Yeah. I told you that things will be interrupting me, but just be patient with me. Hopefully, I'm able to actually round off soon. Now, going back, Azuka now called me because now she's embarrassed. But it's important you understand who I am a bit when it comes to psychological stuff. As soon as I heard from Emeka Livingstone, our dear pastor, that what Azuka was claiming to be Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's speech was mine. Psychologically, I knew that Biafra has entered one chance bus stop. This is madness because psychologically, I knew what was propelling. There are numerous things propelling that claim of Azuka. But let me tell you one of the major ones you need to learn today if you don't understand psychology. All Azuka was trying to do there was to convince all Biafrans, especially Simon, that she's the one that has access into DSS. that she's the one that is directly linked to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, that she is the one. Everybody, even though you are the spokesperson, I, Azuka Charles Nwankwo, however she calls herself, and then gives her name the name of Umaijega or Eligwek or some way to go or something. Now, that I am the one who knows more than all of you. I am the one who has been sent with you to go and get Biafra. And of course, those were what she began to tell me when I began to speak with her. And I was studying her. I like to study people. You know, you can't study somebody if you begin to contest things with them. You got to come to their wavelength so you can. By speaking to him from day one, I knew we had a problem. I knew it. I knew, and I came back to the group to say, look, from the little I have seen, without even saying how or where, I said, from the little I have seen, from a human side, and I'm sure Kelechi will remember me saying that, from the human side, this is impossible, we can't do this. Biafra is not coming anywhere. From the much I have seen, without saying what I have seen, we are going nowhere. But because I believe in God and the power of God to use one man, to use two, to use three, and because I know that Biafra is a spirit that nobody can stop, I said, because of my faith in God, Biafra is coming. Because all these things you're seeing must take place. So when Biafra comes, people will say, wow, 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 I thought it had collapsed. Because it's a God of mystery. It's a God that makes impossibility possible. And it's a jealous God that doesn't want to sell or allow his glory to go to waste. Okay? So God allows things to be impossible so that by the time it becomes possible, all glory will come to him. Because otherwise, Azuka and the Simon will claim that they got Biafra. Okay? That's why those that will get Biafra must be total servants of humanity, total worshippers of God, total truth bearers. They have to show vulnerability, and then God and in Christ they become powerful, because they are going to give all glory to God, knowing that they were weak, but it was God that made them strong. They must come with humility. They won't be coming with I will be the last stopper. I am the one that will stop all of you. I'm a lion. I am a tiger. I am the what? All this nonsense. All this absolute childish stupidity. Oh, by the time you talk for 2 weeks, you'll be gone. All this nonsense hype. Look, Biafrans are more advanced. Look, because we are not all coming out, Biafrans are more advanced than this childish behavior. This is a child talking. So, going back, I made it clear that we are in trouble. And then what really convinced me that we are in trouble is when I now listened to the audio tape where Azuka and Arewa was holding Simon here in the truth. Here, in the truth, here. That really, really, really confirmed everything that I suspected and I believed was happening. Do you know that it convinced it up to the extent where I recognized that when you hear about that letter we wrote, haven't heard what these people were planning about Biafran currency, do you know that it is that stranglehold Azuka and Arewa had on, and then the real propelling agent that was added into the equation became Ngozi Orabueze, because she was part of the reasons why we wrote that letter and said, look, there is fire on the mountain. We need you to come urgently. Now, because Simon is held by these three women right here, Simon had to go and consult with them first. Simon did not want to come to us so that he doesn't want to appear weak, because the exploration of ideas would have explored with him would have put him in a position of weakness because he knows that he couldn't do anything without the express authority and express authorization of Azuka and Ngozi Orabueze in particular, because Arewa is in the pocket of Azuka. Anyway, look, if you understand psychology, you can see the build. If Ngozi Orabueze is the latest, the late comer, yeah. But Ngozi Orabueze became even more powerful in this nonsense Simon is doing, more powerful than Azuka. I teased that out when I spoke to Azuka last, and I said, how do you know Ngozi Orabueze? By that time, we can see that she must be an agent of Nigerian state. And she began to say to me, oh, no, Ngozi is this, Ngozi is that. She's even a medical doctor. But I know Ngozi is not a medical doctor. She's a nurse. She can become a nursing practitioner, which in America, they can be prescribers and they can go by DR. That doesn't mean that they are medical doctors. We know medical doctors when we see them. We understand these things. The way Azuka was now talking about Ngozi Orabueze, whom I know very well when she came into Biafra movement and was begging people like Pastor Livingstone for Simon's number because she wanted to penetrate. She was carrying money to go and infiltrate. So the way Azuka spoke about Ngozi made me realize Ngozi had actually pocketed all those people. They saw the money she was bringing and they've all bought into it. So Ngozi actually became more powerful in the whole game, even though she's lying on the quiet side. Yeah, she's more powerful than Azuka. And you see, I know how to rank these things because when you see how psychology works, you will see who is doing what. The way Azuka was trying to defend Ngozi told me that Ngozi had a stranglehold over them. But these women were the people controlling Simon. So Simon, instead of come to us and say, oh, I received this letter from you. What do you think? This is my view on it. This is what I'm thinking. Okay, why can't we just wait and see and monitor this or whatever? He couldn't come to us. If everybody that has read that letter will see that the letter wasn't an attack on anybody. The letter was inviting a brother to come. We are sensing danger. What do you think? Deliberation. Even if he says, leave it with me, we will leave it with it. Even if he chose to bin it. No, but you see, because of the power Azuka and Ngozi has over him, he had to go to them. And as soon as they saw that letter, they ordered him that he must go live and read that to all Biafrans and ban these people and begin to, and at least expose their names. Can you imagine, even if you're just a manager of a company and you receive a letter, you would not write back or at least acknowledge the letter to say, thank you for your letter. I've received it. It's receiving due attention, and I'll be back to you later. Simple. Even if you don't want to come, but that is courtesy. But this is a guy who claims to be a spokesman for a whole nation. It tells you the embarrassment and shame, the total lunacy, the complete idiocy of this little man. Oh my God, the guy is too little. And the more he talks, he exposes himself to total ridicule. Okay, I can tell you his strength because I've assessed him. Look, you need to know my power when it comes to assessing people. Okay, but it's not what I'm here to discuss with you. I've assessed and dissected that guy. Okay, I know I can tell you his strength. I can tell you all his weaknesses. I can tell you how hopeless, how empty this guy is. Forget about that. Biafran money is beefing them up now. Okay, and this is empty, total emptiness. A little child. And this is somebody telling you that he's going to bring Biafra. Right now, he is in a gamble mode. He's praying and hoping that Nigerian citizens will now begin to riot. He's looking for a miracle. He's waiting because everything he told you, you know now, are lies. Okay? You counted 150 days. As soon as he finished, he went back to his original pattern of dissecting people and telling you history of this, history of that. Because that was what he was doing very well, which attracted Nnamdi Kanu, of course. Okay? And attracted majority of you. That's the singular talent he had. In every other area, he's zilch. Zilch. He has no talent in man management. He has no talent in diplomacy. He has no singular talent when it comes to a person-to-person's approach. So this guy is totally empty in these areas. So, going back, you can see how Ngozi Orabueze and Azuka were propelling the whole agenda. And remember, as soon as Simon read that letter on air and called the names of the signatory, I witnessed physically how the spirit of Biafra, if there was anything left in him, departed, because that was the only time, having watched Simon, having listened to Simon for some time now, the only time I saw Simon rush off his screen without saying, God bless Mazin Nandikan, God bless the Dubai Republic, God bless. Go and check that. You'll find that Simon lost it from there on. From there on, all Simon is now doing is everything that he accused and he was accusing DOS about. Everything, including exposing the men on the ground, exposing Biafrans, and trying to sort of ignite hatred so that people can go and kill on his behalf. Because when I saw him talk about Papa Ejima, you go and check that video. The only thing Simon did not say, which was in his heart, but he knew he couldn't do that on social media. He knew what it means. The only thing he failed to say is, when you get him, kill him. Because take your time and dissect what Simon said about Papa Ejima. Oh, go to his village. Oh, get his picture. Put his picture everywhere. Oh, Simon is almost psychotic, and I can assure you that. He's lost it. That's what happens when people soil their hands. And you're saying you're pursuing Biafra, you will go crazy. You're going to have problems. If you are not genuine about Biafra, please don't try to go and run the show. If you're not genuine, just don't try it, because the spirit of Biafra is real. You can't stop it. You can't stop it. You are going to be destroyed. And I'm actually advising Simon now. He really needs to find a way of repentance and stand aside and keep quiet, because Nnamdi Kanu warned this guy, warned him. Don't play with warnings. Don't let the devil enter you. We saw the first devil enter in the name of, what's her name? Nelly. And every Biafran rallied around and helped this guy get rid of the one devil that entered. Simon now opened himself up to 3 more devils. This time, these 3 devils will not, I can't see how, forget about it. The mere fact that this guy can be susceptible to devil entering him disqualifies him from any post in Biafra that requires man management. It disqualifies him totally. The sort of post this guy is going to have is when it comes to go and dissect this, go and dissect that, go and take time and bring us information about this individual, analyze the individual, come back and let us, that I give people their due. I know if I'm in management and somebody like Simon comes, I'll dissect him, I'll put him in the right place. I'm not gonna, I'm not one of those people who will just say, oh, because he's good in this area, he's not good, he will be in good. No. You assess people based on what they are bringing on the table. Okay? So, as you can see, just, you can see how the whole thing is panning out. So this man lost it completely. Since then, all he is doing is not just repeating what he was condemning DOS about. He is now doing worse. Every day he's sacking people from IPOB. or sacking people from Autopilot. Or, you know, but I've tried to explain what Autopilot means. And I thank God that Pastor Livingstone actually on his own today, I've analyzed it again. And in fact, added more to it. Okay? The truth is that the word autopilot, and I thank God that Simon Epa had played the tape where Mazin Nandekano voiced that we are now on autopilot. I can tell you, even when Mazin Nandekano said we are now on autopilot, Mazin Nandekano may not have known that we meant the entire world. But I can assure you that is what it means. The entire world is now on autopilot. And this autopilot is what is going to bring about Biafra. The good, the bad, and the ugly are going to contribute to bringing about Biafra. Everything everybody is doing now, what I'm saying now, what Kelechi is saying, what Simon is saying now, what he will say and do tomorrow, what everybody will be doing, we are all on autopilot. And it is going to be what is going to bring about Biafra, because negative and positive must work together in order to bring about God's glory. If Goliath was not standing out there, there wouldn't have been David to bring him down and bring the glory of God. So you need to understand how it works. If there was no Buhari, Biafra wouldn't have gathered momentum as it has done now. Don't forget that Nnamdi Kanu was broadcasting, even as Jonathan ignored him. And everybody, it didn't mean much until our biggest enemy laid hand on him. So don't worry about what you're seeing now. I won't be talking to you the way I'm talking to you now if Simon hadn't started this mad, childish behavior. So everybody is on pilot. You should understand it. So, because I don't expect somebody as inept as Simon to understand what even that autopilot means. So he might be getting some education on it. But that is what he's sacking people on. Now you're sacked at the autopilot. And they think when they open, you know how black people, those that call themselves black, you know how Africans reason. An African who does not own any of the social networking sites. Now, when Nnamdi Kanu told you that Africans are wicked, that they are evil, it's not all Africans, because genuine Biafrans are not evil. Yeah, but he's trying to highlight something. Now, let me tell you what he was trying. Let me use this example now and tell you what Mazin Nnamdi Kanu was talking about. Go and check all social networking sites. None is owned by an African. None. If you know any, let me know. None of the social networking sites is owned by an African. Every African is only a subscriber. Now, think about it. You are just a tenant in WhatsApp, for example, because you open the WhatsApp group as an African and you become an admin. Suddenly, you begin to believe you are God. Suddenly, you think you have employed the people you invited. This is the mentality of an African. When you hear Simon saying, remove them from all autopilot, you think he is the owner of WhatsApp. God have mercy. And then Ngozi Orabueze, who is an admin in one, now believes, yes, I'm the manager of this group. Now it is now down to me to begin to delete these people and show my authority. Now, I just want you to understand what Nnamdi Kanu was telling you right there. If Africans will be behaving like this just because they are just ordinary admins in something that has no meaning actually, apart from getting people together, yeah? If they can be deleting people like that, can you imagine what an African would do if he or she is the owner of WhatsApp? Can you begin to imagine? If you can reason up to this stage, I can now tell you that you are a Biafran. But if you can't, if what I'm saying you can't, your brain couldn't get there. I'm sorry, you're still a Nigerian. Okay? You're still a Nigerian. Now, I needed everybody to understand that Even though we were working together, we were outsiders when it came to what Simon Azuka in particular were doing. But God in his mercy revealed all these, and thank God for Kelechi, through his media persuasion, was able to bring us information. Listen, I've got to go now because I have something to talk to my people about. I have to go now. I'll catch up with you guys as quickly as possible. Kelechi, keep up the good work.
All right.
God bless
Thank you
all of
so
you.
much.
Take care.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
We appreciate
Bye-bye.
it. Thank you so much. Yeah. Bye-bye. Thank you so much. I wouldn't say much. I actually wanted to give more analysis because basically I want to teach and also make some exposition in the sense so that you can begin to reason along the line of facts and truth. Because one thing you have to understand, one thing that is unchanging in this life is truth. When you find yourself in a situation where we tell ourselves lies, we are seriously in danger. Then we're seriously in danger. And I want you to understand that, as I keep saying, of course, when you want to look at issues, you're going to look at issues in context of people. That doesn't mean that you are taking the people personal or you're taking things personal and attack on the people, because it is people that carry out activities. So when you want to deal with activities, you will also relate to people. So when we come to expose things like this and we talk about things like this, it is for us to be better. Now, I will leave you with this. Why do you want to leave Nigeria? That's the big question. Why do you want to leave Nigeria? If you have defined Nigeria in one way or the other all this while, because I know most of us have said so many things about Nigeria, criminality, election fraud, so many things, nepotism. Some of you even say Fulani is controlling everything. Some of you talked about so many things. If you have said all of these things about Nigeria, and you are seeking for a Biafra where you are still going to implement or carry out or execute or maintain these things, then the best thing you have to do is to stay in Nigeria and stay with Fulani. Just stay with your slave masters, because there's no need. You just stay on your own. Brother Kelechi, stay. Please, Brother Kelechi, stay on your own. That's what I want to say. Biafra needs you. My brother John, I know you know my perspective. I understand, you're saying and all of that. But you see, that sometimes we just have to say some things so that people begin to see the perspective of what we're saying. We want to save our nation. We want the right thing to be done. And this right thing is very critical to our nation. If we don't stand on the truth, I tell you, my people, those ones who would just have their conscience work right now, if you don't stand on the truth, Lord have mercy, it's going to be disastrous when you get the Biafra. You are going to be colonized again, and this time around is going to be worse. You must understand this. God is giving us Biafra because God wants truth to be established. God wants his people to pursue the truth. God wants his people to pursue the truth. But John, you said Prince is going off track. The truth is, sometimes people have the way they express their things and all of that. And of course, Prince is an elderly man. He has the right to talk to talk to Simon the way he wants to talk to him. Simon himself have insulted him and insulted him several times, and he has to talk to him like talking to that. So I want us to also to sit in that perspective, as much as we know that if you sometimes you just need to school the child, to put the child on that. So he's old enough to be his father. So it's like telling my father that I'm going off track, so he shouldn't talk to me the way he's talking to me. Sometimes you just have to listen to your father, especially stop, and all of that. And somebody say I have nothing to offer, and he's still here chatting. You say I have nothing to offer, and you're still here sending messages. Let's go, whatever. Your name already tells you that you don't have an image or personality. Florence, I've been observing your messages. Before all these issues, I've been observing your messages, but now I'm going to see your messages. Now I know. I told you people now that I told people something. I said, let me say I don't acknowledge to I'm sorry. The thing is that I hardly, because there are so many messages that I am, once I just open, I just look at it, can't read. I'm so tired because you're doing so many things at the same time. So I'm sorry, I'll try to go to DM so that I can get information. I think Canon View TV says I don't acknowledge. I'm sorry about that. It's not intentional, so now I want you guys to understand something. Oh, I've forgotten what I want to say. Oh, Lord have mercy. Help me to remember. Very, very important point I wanted to make. Okay. You see, yes. Now you see, let me tell you something. The only time you know if you can pressure or if you have what it takes to stand for the truth, or if you are padded with knowledge, or if you can stand and defend truth, or can fall by the wayside, is you have activities, issues, circumstances, situations, and every other thing that tests your standing. If you find yourself in a situation where you are broke, somebody is saying that I wanted to buy a bus, that where is the I should give account. I just saw it. I think I just saw a message. People are very funny. So if I want to buy bus, is it a crime to buy bus? If I want to buy bus and I say, please, can you loan me to join money to buy a bus? And I never told Azuka that before. I've never told her that before to give me a loan. I only spoke with Pastor Emeka that I need to complete the money to buy a particular bus. And then he goes to Azuka to tell Azuka. And along the line, even when he was telling Azuka, I still went against them. So that tells you that it's not about the money, because it was even that period he was telling Azuka that I said, I still went against them, meaning that if it has to do with money, it cannot stop me from the truth. So all of you are parading, and stories and all of that, and saying so many things, and they gave you money to, I should give you account of a bus I bought. My bus I bought for business. I should come and give you account. I don't know how daft some of you are. You're very, very daft. Your daftness is of so many colors that we don't know what to call it, because when we look at it, we see different colors. We don't know what to call it, yellow or dark or black or so. But just checked viewers drop from 30. It doesn't matter, my brother John. It doesn't. No, I'm telling you, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. See, let me tell you something. It's not about viewership. It's about disseminating the truth. I'm telling you, I didn't come here to have viewers. If I come here to have viewers, I'll keep quiet. I won't talk about the currency. John, understand my perspective. If I want viewers, I will not come to ask for accountability. If I want viewers, if my concern is viewers, so anybody who wants to leave, if you don't want to hear the truth, you go. But the truth will stand, and the truth will make people free. And those who want the truth will take the truth and they will move it forward. And as I tell you, as I speak, even after now, people are going to still watch this again because they know I will always stand on the truth. People watch it after now. People download it and send it around. People send it around. Somebody says, let me see. Somebody says, gave 5K CDs. Well, let me see that message. Well, if I miss it. John, Kelechi, what about your WhatsApp chat with Ngozi? You are begging for 5,000 Ghana cedis. Is that true? What did she tell you that the money is for? What did she tell you that the money is for? Is it Biafra money? You see, oh Lord have mercy. What did she tell you the money is for? If I ask her, so please, I need a loan from you. I need 5,000 Ghana cedis to complete to buy a bus. Is it a crime? Is it, I am asking you this, let's go. I come to you now. I say, please, I need 5,000. I am trying to purchase a bus. I need to balance up. I need 5,000 to complete it. Is it a crime? You have not asked. Oh, you don't know that Bill Gates also asked for loan. You don't know. So you think it's a. You see, most of you are too dry. It's not even that you are too dry in your mentality. What has this got to do with what I'm saying? What has this got to do with Simon? We need accountability in the account. What has this thing you are posting here now, which you want to use as propaganda and blackmail? You think all these things will stop me from saying the truth? Just stop me now. Guys are just empty. What kind of analysis is that? Say you ask her, and she are you not even supposed to tell her that what is your motive of bringing this out? Let's say the person came to ask you for a loan. that you need? And what is your motive? Ask the person who posted, what is your motive? Why didn't you bring it out that time? I was not talking about transparency. Why are you not bringing it out? Reason. That means you want to blackmail. That's what it means. It's as simple as that. When you have a good time with somebody and, and all of that, and the person refuses to say some things about you, and then when you now go against the person, and then they begin to try to bring some things that don't make sense against you in the public, what does that tell you? Common sense. You tell you what you should understand. So all this cheap blackmail, I'm not going to talk about them again because it's not my business. So whatever you think, yeah, is your last broadcast for his propaganda. And Biafra Unity TV, Paul Achebe, used your last broadcast for his propaganda. If Simon hadn't come out to start messing up, are we going to come all out to start opening up? Now, I want you to see it in this perspective. You are in a law court. A case is brought against you. You are arrested and you are brought before a court. My brother, I'm asking you now. And then they now lay cases against you. What are you supposed to do? Are you not supposed to defend yourself? It's as simple as that. You defend yourself. So if after what I have gained in life, after the reputation I have in life, from all I have done in my life, which he was not there, I have been existing before him. I have done lots of things before he was born, as much as those our fathers too have done some things before I was born. If after I have done all and gained my reputation in ministry, in business, in everything I've done, in the impact I've made in the zoo and everything, and then somebody just appears in a place and just want to rubbish me because we are fighting for freedom together, and because he has been privileged to be told to be the spokesperson, he just wants to come and rubbish me to everybody, just rubbish me after I have built my reputation over the years. Now I ask you a question: if it were you, what are you going to do? Because some of you will say, please don't come out and speak. I know some elderly people have called me. Please don't say anything. Just allow things. How? So somebody comes around and calls me a criminal, and someone who is supposed to be a younger brother to me comes to call me an idiot and a criminal. I've not stolen anything from him. I've not done business with him. Only met on IPOB stuff. And of course, I only began to encourage him and follow. But I won't say follow. I only trying to push him and raise his hands because Mazin Nnamdi Kanu endorsed him based on what we heard to stay to broadcast on Radio Biafra. And because of that, we now started pushing him and making him. So because of that, he now began to rubbish the image I've built over the years. He was not there when I was building it. He was doing his own. I was doing my own. I was doing my own stuff. So my brother, let me go back to what you were saying. It's not about the number of people watching. No, I'm not here to. The truth will stand test of time. People have been listening to my broadcast. Those who know what I will say and the truth I will say, they will always believe and they will always follow it. Those whose conscience will prick them, those who have conscience, will still come back to what I'm saying. If you like, unsubscribe. I am not looking for YouTube to give me money. I know what to do to make money. I know how to do business. I just need to get what I need to get and do business. I have the brains to do business. I'm not looking for every month collect money from YouTube. If it comes, fine, it's good because it's part of business. What I'm doing now, nobody's paying me for it. But if I am spending so much on YouTube and at the same time I begin to receive subscription and I begin to get income from YouTube, it's part of it because what I'm giving out there is more than what I get from them. So I'm not condemning anybody who is doing that. Anyways, that's not the issue. But begin to capitalize on propaganda to push your narrative and to have viewers, then you're on the wrong track. That's the truth. So don't see what you want to get. That's why I talk about patriotism. Patriotism, and this is one of the fundamentals we have put in our constitution. Patriotic people. We want to build patriotic people. If we could write the constitution, and then after writing the constitution, we now come all out. Yes, my the light is above my head, so I don't know how I'm going to try to use. If I turn this cap here now and do it like a homeboy, maybe I'll do the cap like a homeboy. Let me do it like this, so I can see my face properly because the cap stuff was covering my face. Do like a homeboy. I think this is nice. Anyways, maybe I'll do it like anytime it's dark. I'll just be doing it like this. This looks fine. What do you think? What do you think? I think it's fine, man. This is a homeboy, man. Oh, what's up, nigga? Oh Lord have mercy. Now see, if what I am looking for is to to get viewers. Of course, my channel is growing. It has been growing, and I've seen some people have subscribed. When I open it, I see it go down. It goes down. Somebody told me on Twitter and said, go and check your stuff is going down. Is it? I have told you I'm not here for personal interest. So if you don't want to listen to the truth, you will go out. Tomorrow you will still come to identify with the truth, because it is only the truth that will be constant. What is the crime here now? That you cannot put your faces on the currency. Is that a crime? There have been complaints about our men on ground. They are not receiving supplies. What is happening to our resources? Give account. Is that a crime? What is really the problem with our people? That you say your face will not be on the currency because you are going to destroy what we're doing. You can imagine all the stakeholders in Biafra land. Thank you so much. I'm seeing the kudos to the cap and stuff. All the stakeholders in Biafra land coming to understand that you put your face on the currency. What would you expect? Even the people from the coastal region, they will say, oh, we told you. You see, we have Igbos to dominate. See, they have put their faces on the currency. You will destroy everything. Yet, because of their greed, they didn't want to, they saw it as an attack. They became threatened by that because of greed, because of selfish ends, because of selfishness. We told you the truth because of selfishness. Now, you now began to dance in the market square because we said, give us account. Give us account. Do you need to dance in the market? Do you need to come public and start disgracing people because they say, give us account, and messing people up and embarrassing people and rubbishing people and tarnishing the image of the people? The people you are tarnishing their image, including Gaddafi, including Azuka, including Simon, all of them, the people you are tarnishing their image are people you should respect, who are elders to you. In our place, we understand the respect to elders. For the fact you live abroad doesn't mean you should disrespect elders. You should respect elders. You should respect elders. Respect elders. Even Gaddafi, I am older than him. He should respect me as an elder. But these are people who have been going. Now, let me give you this story about Gaddafi, because some of you don't know the extent of what the wickedness of our people, especially when our people going to begin to go into criminality. I told you about one of our sisters who is one of a strong commander that Gaddafi started contracting and trying to know her location. Told her to go one place to go and collect this Isiago cap that somebody's coming from South Korea get it, so she should go and buy the cap and give to the person to bring in somewhere in a bar around there, to go and get the cap and give the person. And the lady said, okay, please, I'm going to send somebody to go and do this. Said, no, you have to go yourself. No, she was arguing until the person now said, no. He said, so are you trying to set me up to kill me? That's when he now, so you want to try to set me up and kill me? That's when he hung up. Now, this thing, he has done it to me 3 or 4 times, 2 or 3 times. He gave my number to people that, without asking me, to try to meet me. They'll call me, hey, we want to, we're POB, we are doing this and all of that, blah, blah, want to know where you are and all of that. Who gave me my number? It's Gaddafi. We have to work together. I said, please, we cannot see. John said I should ignore. They have come to blackmail me now. So let me tell Biafrans the truth of what's going on. They want to blackmail you. Some come say you collect money. You go here, collect money. You come collect money. I don't understand. I go here, collect money. For what? Okay, tell people what I came to collect the money for. You can tell them. Show them the receipt of the money. You can show them. Now, and of course, the last one that happened was just after decent time that I got I said, no, your faces will not, that period I was still asking for accountability and all of that. He called me, and somebody else was on the other phone. He didn't tell me that he wasn't going to call me and put somebody else on phone. Now you see how disrespectful these people are, and very, 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 very desperate they are. Somebody's on the phone and he calls me. There's one particular business we want to do. We want to go into voyage business, and that's freight business. This cargo business and all of that. That they want to do the business, and they want to, that I'm going to be part of the business. That this person is a close person to Mazen Namdekano. This person is a very, this person is a very. I wonder, Florence. Now, thank God you said this, because I'm wondering how you people are analyzing this thing. Because I don't know if I want to buy something now, and I have shortage of money, and I ask somebody, please, can you lend me so amount? I want to buy this, and then I send you the picture of what I want to buy. I say, this is the picture of what I want to buy. For God's sake, I can show you I can bring my documents here. I have company. I have a company. I have a company here where I am, and I can show you contracts contract documents here. So I'm not, so businesses ask for loans. Even Dangote ask for loan from banks. So don't come and rubbish people because they ask you, now you want to, that's petty. That's being petty, for God's sake. You are just being childish. You are just being childish. That's the truth. Don't dance around the market square. Just go and give account. It's as simple as that. What they're asking for you is to give account. You are serving Biafrans. Give Biafrans account. We're not saying you should come and announce to the whole world. The people who have been working, we that are coming in the face, and you that we agreed that we would know what is happening. So that when we are telling Biafrans contribute, we are sure that Biafrans are contributing to Florence says, so you see I'm objective. Oh, Florence. Now, yeah, at least you're objective there. Maybe because I need to begin to analyze this very well so that you guys can be very objective. I think you're beginning to get objective. So you have to understand from the point, Now, the people who are contributing the money, we are talking to the people to contribute the money. You are saying, how much have I contributed? Must I tell you how much I've contributed? Even this broadcast I'm making is part of the contribution. I'm using my money to broadcast. I buy data every time, and I can tell you how much I buy to every month in converted to Naira. You can imagine how much I spend. So what I'm doing again, and my face here, open to this, everybody sees my face. Everywhere I go, they'll see, I know this face. I can be in danger. These are risking your life where you are for the cause of freedom. These are all prices we're paying. So don't ask me how much have you contributed? Rather, say to yourself, these people are actually saying the truth. Now, if you contribute money and a group of people, you contribute money into somebody's account, the person refuses to tell you how much all of you have contributed into that account, what should that tell you normally? Common sense. You don't even need a prophet to tell you that that person is hiding something. That person is using your money for something. All of you are 10, and all of you are contributing money into somebody's account. Remember, Biafrans, a whole nation contributing money into Azuka's account. A nation cannot have account of its own. It's not laughable. It's not a shame. A nation is putting money in an individual's account. What a shame. And that individual, the husband, is the owner of the account. She is the one who disburses, who buys, who writes what is bought, who can tell you, oh, this is what I gave. Nobody can inspect, nobody can tell you, nobody can all of that. All of that and all of that. Please do not expose details of the struggle here. Think of the bigger picture. I understand what you're saying, Florence, but the truth about it is that if you don't hold leaders accountable, when you get into Biafra, it's going to be horrible, I tell you. So what we're doing here is to hold accountable. And I want to tell you, Biafrans, the truth here is this. I want us to reason. Please, God has created us to be smart. God has created us to be intelligent. But sometimes we plunge our intelligence into the cagey dungeon of emotion that we become a stooge to ourselves. When things happen, don't judge by your emotion. Judge by constructive reasoning. That is the only way you can be sorted. Although we are going to round off in the next 8 minutes. That's by 2 hours, 30 minutes. But let's just, Prince is here. So let's just have you say something before we round off. I just want, please just say something, please.
As soon as I finished dealing with what I was dealing with, I actually went into your chat section and I read something. I like to ignore the lunatics because I do know how these things work. But I read something written by somebody called Emmanuel Ochieke. Let me see if I can dig it out. But you might see it. Something is like he's talking about me coming in and saying something and disappearing and all the rest of it, and coming back referring using the word hijack or something like that. Come to hijack. Now you see, on a serious note, we have sadly, and this is the poisoned nature of Nigeria. Nigeria destroyed so many people that they don't know their left from their right. And he's also claiming that I'm claiming to be intelligent. I haven't spoken about being intelligent or not. I haven't. Okay, but we all have our areas of specialism. In my areas of specialism, you can't contest with me. And I do know that in your own area of specialism, I can't contest with you. We are Biafrans, so we understand these things. So whatever it is you are talking about is what your mental state is telling you. I don't know how deranged or how sound it is, but I can assure you that I know that Nigerian contraction damaged a lot of you people. That is for sure. Okay. And also poor parental guidance, poor upbringing destroyed so many people. When you begin to see human beings who are reasoning beneath that of animals, it is very sad. And that's part of the reasons why I told you, Kelechi, that if you fail to recognize that you're a human being, if you ever thought that you are God, or you think you can be some kind of an animal, in the end, your actions, your utterances, your behavior will become worse and less than that of an animal. Because no matter how you think you're an animal, or how you think you're God, you can never be God, and you can never be an animal. You can only be what you are, but then your behavior will put you right beneath all these things. That is just how it works. I needed to come back in so that whoever thinks I've hijacked, perhaps you open your line up so the person can talk to me, so that he can explain to me how I hijack things. I don't know whether hijack is the new word he found in the dictionary, and he didn't quite understand what it meant. So perhaps, I don't know, I'm pleading with you, Kelechi, because we like to hear from everybody. We're not like Simon who sacked people. Don't go sacking him though. This Emmanuel, what? Emmanuel.
No, I've been seeing lots of messages here. I'm not sack. I can't sack people.
Yeah, we don't sack people. In fact, we invite our enemies to come in. I want Simon to come in. I love people who we love our enemies.
Because of time, I just have to. The broadcast has already taken so long. Maybe we're going to open it up later for them to come with their their. But if the person wants to call, anyways, we have about 6 minutes or 5 minutes.
Wonderful.
If the person can call now,
he can call. Yeah, Emmanuel, you are free to call in now. You have some minutes, and I am back here. As soon as I read that, I said, no, I must come back in, so that he knows that oh, come on, the truth doesn't run from anything. Light doesn't run from darkness. So if you have a question, if you have an idea, come, let us share it together. So
that's we're forcing ourselves to know secrets of Autopilot. I don't know which secrets again you are talking about.
No, he said what? Sorry, what did he say?
Someone is saying, someone called Mark Chi, saying that we are forcing ourselves to know the secrets of Autopilot. I don't understand what you mean by secrets of Autopilot. I don't know the secrets you are talking about.
No. But
yes.
Let's begin by asking her or him what he understands by Autopilot first, before we start defining what the secret is.
That's what I'm saying. So if you know what Autopilot means, you will not be talking about secrets. Well, anyways, most of us are very ignorant on some things, and that's why our comments sometimes are very irrational. But hopefully, by God's grace, as we keep talking, if you want to be here anyways, if you want to be here to listen, as you keep talking, you'll get better understanding. I saw Tina Martins, you said something. What did you say? And some of the men calling, some of them, you are glad that Azuka stopped them. Now, let me tell you something, Tina Martins. Most of the people who Azuka is talking to now were introduced to her by people who were already on ground, which we know before she even came, before she even knew. They were introduced to her. So she doesn't have the power to determine who is a criminal or not. We know those who have been working with Martin Namdekanu, even before she took that mantle of being, working with Umuada. So if you are saying that you're happy that she stopped them and that some of them are criminals, how do you know that they are criminals? These are people we know. These are people who work with Mazin Namdekanu, including the person who helped Mazin Namdekanu establish ESN. We know the person. We work with him.
Isn't it how Azuka now claimed that she was the one that investigated Nelly when we found that the message actually came from a different source to her? So, all these stupid claims, man.
I don't know. Please, you people should.
But please, Kelechi.
Somebody's asking what about the money for the bus? I bought the bus. I didn't need them to give me money to buy. I bought it. So what's your business? What's your business with my bus? Want me to give you the bus?
Kelechi.
Yes, I'm here.
Kelechi. Yeah, yes. I please ignore. Honestly, I only had to highlight that one because it made me laugh, and the way he says I was hijacking thing. Now I don't read. I don't actually read comments. No, I don't. Personally, I don't, especially if I believe that the person is, responding from somewhere other than their brains. I don't waste my time to do that. To be quite honest, the genuine people will understand. Don't forget that the people that are saying all these things are people that Simon and Azoka are using Biafran money to lobby and to use to come here and talk rubbish. Don't forget that Simon, from the way he has acted, has proven, in fact, whenever people are blaming somebody of something, that's what they are doing. Simon obviously must have either replicated himself in a few fake accounts to come here to talk rubbish, or just put all this nonsense, or he had empowered the people that come here to talk rubbish. So the thing is that in the end, the truth will deal with all of them, because there is no way darkness will stand in front of the truth. So we're gonna, and one of the things I feel sorry for Simon is that Simon thinks he's dealing with DOS. Simon thinks he's dealing with, look, when you're dealing with genuine Biafrans, you're dealing with light. You're dealing with the truth. The truth is everlasting. So don't go thinking the truth. You're going to chase it, and then in the next 1 week, it will disappear. Oh, no, 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 no. The truth is not even afraid of anything. That's what you don't know. You see, when you believe in the truth, you know that everybody is going to die anyway. So the killer, even if all his planning is to kill, the killer will be killed by the same death. So the truth has no time playing all this childish game. What Simon has displayed is his level of childishness, total juvenile behavior, total idiocy. And we can only pray that one day that his soul will be rescued, as so long as he hasn't gone to shed blood of the innocent or instructed people to go and shed the blood of the innocent. Biafra and Biafrans, all the warriors in Biafra are there to defend our land from invaders, from killers, from rapists, from those who have come to kill and destroy our land. Nothing else. Biafrans are not out to kill Biafrans. Biafrans are not out to instigate killings.
We have to round off because of time.
So thank you very much. I hope this time I haven't spoken and run off and hijacked the show.
No, it's just the time. I thought we were going to start by 2:30.
I'm only joking.
Okay. It's already 2 hours 32 minutes. I didn't want to exceed so that people can still watch it later, because some people complain about long broadcasts. We would have other times to talk more. I believe that by Monday we'll also be here to talk. Tomorrow
we'll go back to our mind surgery show.
Yes, mind surgery show on Monday. Yes,
we have to do our stuff.
But tomorrow we're going to be having 4 p.m. Biafra time. We're going to be having a time on Space, Twitter Space. We already said it that we're going to be having time on Twitter Space to discuss for those who want to ask questions. So please you will be there so that when people want to ask questions, most of these questions they have and the things they want to say, they can ask on Twitter Space, and then they can have the answers. That place they can ask questions and get the answers. So 4 p.m. Biafra time, if you think you have questions, if you have a neutral mind and you have a constructive mind, you can come over there. Twitter Space tomorrow Sunday 4 p.m. Biafra time after your service. Come over and be part of Twitter Space. Thank you so much, sir. We appreciate you for your time, for giving your time to this. Thank you so much. We appreciate you.
Keep up the good one.
Yeah. I'm live and direct on Biafra Global Network. I'm live. Yes, I'm live. So let me call you later after this. Let me call you after later. Yes. So that's it. So I want to appreciate you guys. It's good to have you tomorrow. Twitter Space 4 p.m. I would have had a broadcast tomorrow, but because of the Twitter Space, by 4 p.m. Biafra time, whatever question you have, truth don't hide. So we're there to answer any question. Whatever question you want to ask us, even if you want to ask us how criminal we are, come over and ask us. If you want to ask me how much I've stolen, and you want to ask me details of what I've done and how much and who have given me money, and the money that all of you have given to me, that you are broadcasting, and those who are telling you how much they have given me and how they have given me, and you should come also with the record so that to what Prince no way John. So all of you, I see somebody's trying to get my attention there. I ignore him because I'm e-frog, but I know they will always respond to their messages, you know, and so I just respond. So so it's good. And if you have any question you want to ask, you have any, you know, you're worried about something, or you want to call me privately and discuss something. And see, truth has nothing to hide. We're not hiding. We're not afraid. We don't expel people. We talk. If you want to talk to me, you know, you talk to me and we talk. You call me. You know, one of her sisters told me she was going to call me anyways yesterday, and we lost. We couldn't. She told me she was going to call me today. She tried to call me. I think the network was not connecting. I called her back, but I'm seeing her here now. Anyways, anybody wants to call, you call and ask questions. Don't just stay and conclude with that small mind that you have. Try to get your mind to open. The simple thing here is this: stop dancing around. The thing we're asking is, our men are starving. What is happening to the money? Come and give us account. We have been promoting this all this while. We have been talking to people to give, to contribute. So we have a right to know what is happening to the amount, the monies. As we agreed, remember when this thing began, we agreed that there will be accounting every 2 months. You will give the media team and everybody and the woman accounts every 2 months. This is over 9 months, no account. So that alone is a breach. So all of you are saying you have no right to. Now I tell you now why we are demanding for that, because we all agreed before we instituted this. What we're asking, Simon, no need to be coming out to this one. You collect money. Hey, he's a criminal. Hey, he's an idiot. Hey, he's asking for money. Hey, he's begging for money. Hey, he's a Ghana. He's a citizen of Ghana. He's not a Biafran. You don't need all those things. Those are irrelevancies. Those are even proving that you are not straightforward. Hey, we don't know him. Hey, they are not true. Hey, they are criminals. Hey, we don't know this one. Yeah, we don't know Shadow. I don't know Shadow. Hey, but you were having a meeting with Shadow. Hey, I don't know this one. But you're having meetings with them. So all those things proves that you are not sincere. If you want to be sincere, come all out. The thing we're asking is, these our men are complaining. What is happening to the monies? Give us account of the money. As simple as that. That is just what we're asking. Why dancing around the market? That tells us that you have something you're hiding. If you don't have some, it's clear conscience first, no accusation. We always say these things, and every day we recite these things. Don't we understand what it means? If you are sincere, as we agreed, come and tell us, this is what we have used the monies for. This is what we have used the money for. This is why these ones are not receiving money. And give us your reasons. And then we're going to give you reasons why these ones you are neglecting are important and are genuine, because you don't know them. You just came into the thing and you don't know them. Some of us have relationship with them before now. So don't tell why you consulting men on the ground. For God's sake, how can I not consult somebody whom I have relationship with? So all these stories, your analysis, I don't know how we don't need to come all these things. You are disgracing yourself and messing yourself up and coming to embarrass yourself and proving to Biafrans that you are childish. Come all out. Tell the person who has the money in her account, in her husband's account, to come and give us account. And then let's have the statements and let there be proofs. And then let these men that you're saying now that you're calling criminals, that you have given, sometimes you're giving them money, that you're saying, calling them down criminals, they will bring their own records. Well, now, that is why you have the Auditor General of a federation, because it's the details of financial spending or expenditure for the year. Inflow and outflow. That is what we're asking. Accountability. We are professionals. We are smart. We are a nation. We are not people who, you know, even family meeting, even in the house, when your mother gives you money, go to the market, you will come back and tell, this is how much I bought this one. I bought Oporoko head for so amount. I bought my seasoning cube that we all call, any seasoning cube you call Maggi. I bought Maggi for this. I bought Egusi for this. I bought this for this. I bought Oha for this. When you want to cook Oha soup, I bought this for this. I bought you know, you give details. Why now? Why is you live in the land where they give details? They give accounts. You have a business, you have details, you have accounts. Why are you afraid of giving a nation accounts? And everybody, people are jubilant. Oh, Lord have mercy. People are running mad. You cannot ask for accounts. You are this, you are that. You are not a Biafran. You are, Lord have mercy. Is that how petty we are? Oh, Lord God Almighty, help us. Florence is asking me if I donate to ESN. What am I doing here? Am I not donating? You know how much I spend every month for what I'm doing here? Or you think they give me money for that? Do you know how much I spend? Do I need to come and tell you I donate to ESN? And are you telling me that even if you donate to ESN, I don't have a right to ask why ESN is not being taken care of? Now, how much do you? I still keep asking this question. I don't know why our people are this daft. I keep asking you guys questions. Why are you asking your governor in your state to give you account? to do things right. Why? Did you give him money? You said it's the money of the nation. Oh, so you now understand it's the money of the nation. That is the same way. Anybody who contributes, every other person has the right to ask. You, including you, Florence, you can ask, what is happening? Are we doing things right? I hope our resources. This is how you begin the concept of accountability until you get to your freedom. When you get to your freedom, you can that practice will now become very, very part of you. Because as at now, what we're still operating is the zoo strategy where nobody wants to account for anything. And it is dangerous to where we're going. That's why I'm asking you this question. Why do you want to leave Nigeria? You want accountability, right? You want good roads, you want development and all of that. Good. If those are the reasons why you want to leave Nigeria, then begin it now. Give accounts now. Do the things right now. So in the place where you are, the people, those who are jobless, who don't have a job, don't have the right to ask the government. Florence, I can see that, oh Lord have mercy, our people need to go to school. I can see that you guys need to be educated. Where you say that those who don't pay tax don't have a right to ask. Can you imagine? So those who are unemployed don't have a right to ask the government what they're doing with the resources. This is now I know where the problem is coming from. Most of us are not educated. Aside, even in fact, most of us are not intelligent. You don't even need to be educated to know that accountability, is very, very important. You don't need education to know that. Simple. You are telling me that because if you don't pay tax, you don't have the right to. So those who are not employed in a nation, let's say now those ones, they are not employed, so they can't pay tax because you pay tax from your income. Now you are not employed, so you cannot tell the government, what have you been doing? You can't give us good roads. You can't give us good this. What are you doing? Give us records. You are telling me this. That means you are a hypocrite. That means you are a hypocrite. I'll say the third time. That means you are a hypocrite. For you to say this, that means you are a hypocrite. This is wickedness. For you to tell me that you cannot ask because now let me ask you a question, for God's sake. How much do you think this money I'm using for this broadcast to inform you? Is it not part of contribution? Let's not go to the issue of whether you're contributing to yes or no. That's not the issue. Even the person who is coming to tell you that the money goes into her account, does she contribute? Because the monies that she's coming to tell you that she's contributing is the monies that people contribute, and she comes to front it to you as if she has contributed because she knows how to do it, balance it with the account. I don't have time to argue with. If you are intelligent, come from the point of intelligence. Come from the point of just post anything for me to be. I think I'm. Did they pay for your laptop? Who paid for the laptop? You are crazy. You don't know what you're talking about. How many times will I explain that? Go back to the broadcast and listen. What do you mean by who paid for the laptop? What do you mean by laptop? How much is laptop? Are you wise at all? Look at the question. I thought you are smart, Florence. I thought you are wise. I thought I'm talking to somebody who is smart, who understands, who have common sense. You just be asking petty questions like this. Who paid for the laptop? What kind of talk are you talking? If you go to work in a place and the desk you sit, if you are employed to work, the desk you sit, do you buy it with your money? You go to a company and you are employed in a company to work. Do you buy that desk you sit with your money? Nonsense. Don't be asking me nonsense questions. If you're not intelligent, don't ask me questions because I reason. If you don't think that you need accountability in your nation, then you don't need Biafra. You need Biafra because you want accountability. That's it. John, thank you so much for this. In Western world, tax is accounted for to the public, whether you pay or not. This is where intelligent people talk. Can somebody be asking me that you don't pay tax, you don't know how to? Can you imagine? Is that how where are you living? For God's sake, are you living in the zoo? If you're living in the zoo, no wonder. Because even in the zoo, you people demand for accountability. Can you imagine somebody else asking me that you don't have to account for? Oh Lord have mercy! Well, it's no ways whether I look, but the way you have talked now have made me look down on you, Florence, because I don't understand. How can somebody tell me, somebody who is mature, who is living, who is an adult, would tell me that you don't have to, you don't have to account for anything because you don't pay tax? Lord have mercy. You don't have to ask for accountability because you don't pay tax. Lord have mercy. No. I don't believe that a Biafran would think like this. Anyways, that's the end of the. I've prolonged this thing. I was supposed to have ended a long time ago. I'm here just constituting nuisance because I'm responding to wrong questions. Our thing is this, Simon. What we are saying is tell Azuka to give account to Biafrans. Let's know what is happening to the account because our men are complaining and our men are dying. we need to know what is happening. As simple as that. All this dancing around and about the market, you still come to that point. Give account. You have said 150 days. We have ended the 150 days. We didn't see anything. Now you said no election, and we are seeing election everywhere. Nothing is happening. So give us account. Give us account. Some of our people are not ready for the 15th century, talk less of 20th century. Honestly, Mrs. Adazan, you're right. Some of our people are not even qualified to even be in the 15th century. They're supposed to be in that time of Stone Age. Even Stone Age, I know they have accountability in Stone Age. Somebody's asking at this generation that you know that you don't need to. Ah, Lord have mercy. The thing is just making me irritated. Thank you all. I love you all. Tomorrow, 4 p.m. Twitter space. Ask any question you want to ask, including the stupid questions like Florence is asking here. Just ask any stupid question or any good question you want to ask. Come to Twitter space 4 p.m. and we're going to answer the questions. We're not afraid. We don't sack people. We're not interested in sacking anyone. Everybody's Biafran. Anybody's entitled to ask any question that concerns our collective interest. Anything that concerns all of us concerns all of us. You know, because if our men are jeopardized, our brothers and sisters in Biafra land are jeopardized. And all of that. So we have to do the right thing. Thank you so much, all. I love you all. God bless you all. Really good. And stay connected, stay firm, and all of that. And we'll get to Biafra and we'll get it rightly. Thank you.